Well, hello, everybody. How are we doing this fine Tuesday evening?
Living the dream.
Yeah. So check this out, chat. Amanda Manethrin was good enough to drop everything that he was doing and jump on with us. And for a certain reason, we'll get into it into the show. But I will say that the people you have on tonight, we've actually front run some of the, I would say, other sources of media out there as far as them being able to take a look at what Amazon has been saying about Wheel of Time viewership, among other things. And I just wanted to make sure that Amanda Manethrin was here for that. So, hey, Mike, OBG70, you are cranking out content like an animal. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's like the dam finally broke, and I just decided I had to make content because I'm so damn lazy, and I would rather just sit in a chair and watch Netflix and binge watch stuff than actually, make content. So I decided I'm gonna make one piece of content every single day of the week, and then do at least one live stream on my own channel, and then of course this live stream on your channel. That is my new schedule. And so I just, okay, I'll make one thing. And then I go, oh, wait, I got to make this other thing. And then, oh, this other news thing broke. I got to do that. So it ended up being, I think, like 4 things that I uploaded in the last 24 hours. So yeah, it is what it is. But it's been fun. It's been fun. And it's good to
What
do.
what about you, Zaxx? Kyle, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Um, I'm I'm nowhere near Mike's pace for content creation. I found today that I'm working on 3 different videos, none of which are close to being done. And I looked at my channel. I'm looking at it, and I see I haven't posted anything in a week. So I clipped together a short from Boba Fett and put it out today, just so I had something active on my channel. But yeah, it's I'm super impressed and humbled by Mike and his content explosion over there.
Don't be. You're the actual inspiration behind this, Zaxx, because I was like, even Zaxx is putting out. No, it's actually Prophet of the Dragon. Prophet of the Dragon's throwing out a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, damn, I'm the only one not doing content. So
we should reach out to Prophet. I just didn't want this stream to get too big, and definitely we're gonna, if somebody wants to reach out to him, go ahead. Or
no, that wasn't the point. I was just saying, that I'm watching all my boys here doing, 10 times the amount of stuff I am. I guess there's a reason why my subscriber count's so low.
So Amanda Manamanethrin, I walked you in with some glowing praise. How are you doing? What have you been posting anything new that you want to talk about?
I have actually not been doing anything. I have been down and out for 2 weeks with the coof.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, life goes on. It's you get it and you just deal with it, just like what we used to do before the year 2000. Act like a grown up and get on with life.
I agree. I've had it in various forms, probably 3 or 4 times, along with either the
Yeah,
flu or maybe I had the flu and was just psychologically convinced I had something else, but we won't get into that on this show, will we?
yeah.
So yeah,
I
well,
mean,
no, you make such great content. I look forward to you, well, first of all, feeling better, and secondarily, I hope you do make some more good stuff.
I
Oh my
appreciate
gosh.
that. I'm I go back and forth on, do I really want to make more content? Do I not?
Yeah.
Or do I want to just join in on the occasional live?
Yeah. So first
Same.
thing I want to do, and not to be ironic, is we have the dork knight who asks, I couldn't get past Wheel of Time episode 3. Did it
He's a
get
better
any
man
better?
than I am.
Did it get any better? And then we, of course, let's turn on to our beautiful, wise, and all-knowing chat. A variety of responses that are probably all going to follow along that line.
I don't want to
So,
break the flow here, but I have a warning for our buddy Man here, and that's with the coof. Just so you know, you don't need multiple prostate exams. That's not part of the deal.
Moon River.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, just yeah. All right. I think I ended up in the wrong stream. All right, we are here.
You don't
We
need
are
'em.
here to talk. No, no, no. You should have told Mike that about a month ago, though. So we're here to talk about Wheel of Time because I was noticing in my comments section, season 1 has ended, and we're looking at other things to cover. I think there's a lot to look at as far as what's coming on with Marvel and DC, but I want to acknowledge people's interest in Wheel of Time and what we can cover. And this will not be the last time we talk about it, but we just didn't want to have a stream and yammer on about things without having something good to talk about. Before we get into that, I do, however, want to shout out people in my chat. And this is not a shameless self-promotion, probably not, but I had multiple people join my channel in the memberships that I set up last week, and I want to acknowledge them. And as I'd indicated, at the end of every video I make, including this one, you will be shouted out. We're going to shout you out in the live streams. And on the chat, which I'm trying to keep an eye on, you also will have member badges. So if you're looking and you're seeing people in the chat who like Zaxx, who like William 101, hail to you, sir. They have these cool little badges by their name. That is an indication they're a channel member. And the longer you're with the channel, those things evolve. And we also have custom emojoys that I actually did make myself. They're not just those cheap Hello Kitty looking things. I actually built them myself and uploaded them myself and try. Oh, Zaxx dropping them all right there. So yeah, those are in there. We'll keep fine tuning those based upon comments, but you've seen much larger channels than I, like Heel versus Babyface, like Doomcock. They have their cool things. I am an up and coming YouTuber and I'm taking a shot at it. So if you're interested, becoming a channel member, please check out my channel page, look under community tabs, and all the details are there. All right, that is enough shameless self-promotion. Let's talk about the article there we go. And let's go ahead and talk about this article. And I am going to bounce us there and pull the chat overlay. All right, there you go.
Cool. Yeah. So during
Go
the
ahead.
during the pre-show, we were talking about some of the ideas we're going to talk about with Wheel of Time later on. And while I was perusing, this is an article by Film Rumor today, and it talks about Wheel of Time 2 is in development, filming underway, and then it goes into, well, what can we expect from season 2? Are they going to make any changes to try to help with They're really bad ratings, actually. So there's some talk in here, about Amazon's gamble on adapting Robert Jordan's beloved novels has paid off. But as HBO's Game of Thrones showed, a popular TV series fortunes can quickly change if viewers disagree with the direction it's taking. And then this was the part that I mentioned to Corey DB, Salty Texas C. I said this was interesting that they went ahead and said this too. In our view, the Wheel of Time season 2 needs to follow its predecessor's example, which they're talking about Game of Thrones, and stick as closely as possible to the story told in the books. I just thought, that was actually a really cool thing to say, because not a lot of people publishing articles on this subject are willing to say that so boldly. They hide behind not wanting to get canceled or trigger anyone coming after them. So, what can Jordan's novels tell us about the Wheel of Time season 2's plot? Which characters will appear? And when might the show's second season launch? And with that, I open the panel. Like, when do you see Wheel of Time's season 2 starting? Which characters will appear? When do you think it'll happen? What's the plot? What's the season? What's the characters?
Let's
do you guys
start
think?
with our guest, the germ monkey from Outbreak, otherwise known as Amanda Manethrin. What do you think about that?
Boy, that's a hot mess of an article. I don't know when it's going to start. I've heard that it's supposed to start off the heels off of the 8-episode season of Lord of the Rings, so it could be December. And then the article said January of 2023. To me, it can't be canceled soon enough. And who they're going to have, I don't know. With that article saying it needs to stick as close to the books, the question is how do you get that back on track?
I don't know.
Because it went so far off the rails that I think it's a lost cause at this point.
It goes back to the very beginning. I agree with you. Those major changes that he made, they weren't static. Like I said before, they fractally impacted the story throughout. It's not an adaptation. Throughout this abomination of Wheel of Time, aging the characters up, turning them into a 90210 Emmons Field. Young adult love story nonsense drama, not including Tom the Glee Man, all of those things, not being in came, I don't know. Zaxx, Mike, am I being unfair?
They need to fire everybody, and then Rand wakes up from a dream.
You stole my story. I was just going to say that.
Great minds.
Yeah.
Great minds. That's how you save it. That's how you
the best
save
thing
it.
I've ever heard.
Oh my gosh.
Fire
You guys,
everybody. Rand wakes up. I had the most horrible dream. He's back in his bed. Tam
like
knows how to
Dallas.
use a sword again somehow. He's learned how to do that. Yep.
Just
Start
like
over.
Dallas. Yep.
Dallas. That's what I was just thinking of.
Yeah. So I'm trying to do multiple things on Restream that have not been done before. Not only did I build out custom emojis and badges for the channel, now when you super chat, or if you're a channel member, or if I just like something you have to say, I'm going to be dropping these crazy little video bits in. And this is going to be the first time that I've done this. And of course, William 101 is one of my channel members. Hail to you, was executive producer of last week's show, is also getting an executive producer credit for this. This show, what I do would mean nothing without all of you. Thank you all for being here and for watching my videos and for giving us feedback. Let me go ahead and drop this thing. This is for you, William 101.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
So there you go. This is a $50 super chat from William 101. Thank you very much. Who says, Wheel of Time season 1 was a dumpster fire. Rafe will put it on a train going over a cliff for season 2. Keep up the good work. Hail to you, William 101. Boy,
So is that train going over the cliff? That's what's going to stop that big wave that's going to destroy that little girl in the season ending scene.
Unbelievable.
I didn't even cover that. I was so disgusted, and people were not happy with me. Even though I did actually make a 3-part video on the last episode, I really wanted to save that last scene for a live stream for us to postulate, for us to think about what it could mean, because I literally didn't understand why they stuck it there. It seemed like there were so many things that they could have done, but then again, if we start saying that, then just erase everything and start over. But to get back to what you were saying, I mean, Mike, I don't know, and I agree with Mana Manethrin that what difference does it make if season 2 looks closer to the book? Because they literally could be 1% closer to the book, and it still wouldn't be Robert Jordan's story.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys tell me what you think. Hail to you again, William 101. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you
Thanks
very
to
much.
everybody in the chat. So
No, I agree. It's really just too far gone. I don't know. They can't right this ship. It's on fire and sinking. It's gone. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be fun to talk about. It's going to be fun to make fun of, but that's the best we can hope, for people actually expecting Wheel of Time season 2 to steer. I get we're using really strange analogies, but I mean, to get it back on course, it can't.
yeah,
And
I mean, burn it down.
Yeah, and from what I understand of Rafe's intentions, this is what he wants to happen. So it's not like he realizes, oh, I made some mistakes, let me fix them. No, they're not mistakes in his mind. This is his intention. So
I'm convinced, in my opinion, the whole reason he and many of the other showrunners for properties, especially on Disney Plus, who have no experience with Star Wars, Marvel, any of those intellectual properties, they were brought in for reasons other than their, number one, subject matter expertise or experience with that intellectual property, and 2, they were brought in for ideological reasons or reasons that lead to some other type of narrative maybe that's going on out there. But that's just my opinion.
What happens, I think, now is it's not just about hiring the best person for the job or a good experienced showrunner, as we've seen. They're casting those positions. It's someone has to fit a particular role, like you cast an actor.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet of complexity based upon the du jour agenda. And there was an article that came out. You guys know what I was talking about? I think Cameron Pasha was talking about it on another live stream with, I think it was Tom from Midnight's Edge, but it was talking about the experiences in Hollywood and how people are literally afraid to say anything or be, I mean, positively critical about offering experience, instruction, saying this isn't going to work and it might impact. Like people have been really put in this bizarre place where you cannot. It's not just that you can't speak about politics; it's that you can't mentor. And I think that is a contributing factor with a lot of what we're getting, including Wheel of Time. Yes, I think in the case of Wheel of Time, though, and someone is going to have to prove to me otherwise that this show was deliberately made what it was for the expressed purpose of destroying it. Now, that's pretty bold, but Zaxx, Mike, Mana Manethrin, do you think I'm crazy or paranoid?
I think it could just be ineptitude. That is possible, and the agenda was first, and also for Rafe getting his boyfriend some extra screen time was also first, and that stalled the middle of the show when they spent all the time with the funeral, 2 episodes essentially on a guy who was going to kill himself anyways, and who we didn't need to get to know. Also his, in my opinion, it's stalled because he wanted his boyfriend to be on TV more, and with 8 episodes, you can't spend 2 like that in the middle. There's no momentum anymore.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was the most obvious, pointless waste of somebody else's number 1 of Amazon's money, number 2 of Robert Jordan's story. And number three, and perhaps the least worth in my mind, are all the actors that were cast for this show. I don't know. Manam and Ethra and Mike, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm. It's it is at the very least ineptitude. One thing's for sure is they have no idea how to actually tell a quality story, because you have in those middle three, maybe even four, as many as four episodes, you've emptied the entire storyline of any sort of antagonist movement that forces your characters to go from the next point A to the next point B. When you've abandoned that and you do that for consecutive episodes, then you've completely gotten rid of any ability to have some sort of good fulfillment storytelling when you get to the penultimate episode and the final episode of the season. It's absolutely impossible. And so at the very least, you have a group of people who have no idea what storytelling is, so they just drop in bits of agenda-driven talking points to build episodes around.
Yeah, I ditto everything he just said. It's there's no way to connect the dots, no way to connect A to B, and if you know what needs to happen in Great Hunt, Dragon Reborn, which they're taking from to develop season 2, and you have to have characters at certain locations at certain times, and the way that they would have to write the story to get them there, I it's yeah, no, exactly right. They've gone on there with their agenda. They've created nothing more than little talking points demonstrating their diversity and inclusion at the sake of all other storytelling. And so there's nowhere for them to go. So they have to actually just create it on their own, which is why I always like to post my little meme with Rafe Judkins proclaiming, "Look at me, I'm the writer now," because that's exactly what he's doing. He's
I love that
he's
meme.
yeah, he's
Uh,
rewriting. He's rewriting Wheel of Time. It's his Wheel of Time. And what's so frustrating about that, of course, lots of things frustrating, but mainly, I love Wheel of Time. I love Wheel of Time. 14 books of Wheel of Time. I love it all. I hope that nobody else would have ever been able to make this but me. They would have effed it up. And yet, look what he's done. Because it was
yeah.
all nonsense. He just wanted to push his agenda, and that's what he's doing. So he's writing Wheel of Time.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do when you allow someone to go into a museum? And let's say it's like a local museum, would you say the Wheel of Time is the Mona Lisa of literature? No. No, it is not. But it is, what would I do? I would call it like the Edward Hopper, traditional Americana fantasy. Um, and it's essentially allowing Rafe Judkins to go in with a can of spray paint in his trendy leftist political message hoodie and draw like a big, handlebar mustache on a painting, and then maybe put like I don't know, some type of political slogan on it, and then take a selfie and go, look at me, because that's what Wheel of Time looks like to me. And I don't know how you come back from that in season 2. I don't think you do. I mean, we've got some casting news and more updates as to who they're going to bring in. And yes, they've replaced Matt, but man, you have burned all of your goodwill. And to me, you burned it second episode, third episode. What do you guys think?
I have no goodwill for the show at all at this point.
Yeah.
And the finale was one of the worst hours of television I've ever watched. None of it made sense. They took, you say you can't adapt Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, and I mean obviously Rafe can't, but really there's 14 books worth of material, and if you follow the story properly, you could do it. He just chose not to, and ran out of time. Possibly COVID affected it, whatever the excuse is, and
Hmm.
so they ended it horribly. And it even the most
God.
even the most well-paid shows have turned against it by then. So that's not a good
Yeah.
sign for them for season 2.
Yeah, I mean, it what's crazy is an article, and I think I sent it out in our tear sheet, guys. Maybe I didn't, but there was this leftist site called Salon shilling for Amazon's Wheel of Time. And what essentially this article was that Salon was saying, because of all the diversity and representation and all of the beautiful changes and risks that Rafe Jordan made to Robert Jordan's story, that it was so much more accessible and relatable to a modern audience than The Witcher season 2. Now I know, right? The Witcher season 2 was not a perfect season of television. I liked it. I think it could have been better. I liked it. I have issues. We'll get into them on a live stream. What do you guys think about that? I mean, does that sound like straight up Pinocchio, leftist shilling? What do you think?
Total. I would like to know, what exactly do you mean by taking a risk when you know that you're going to get out there and get all sorts of applause? They want to call this beautiful, brave, risky, whatever. But when you sit there and you know that you're going to go out there to an audience that you're making it for and get their standing ovation, how in the world is that taking a risk? You're not doing anything challenging. You're not doing anything that would have any sort of integrity or honesty to the storytelling. And so I have a tough time buying any sort of premise when somebody starts off an article sitting there saying, "Oh, what a risk taker he was." No, there wasn't any risk taking at all. Risk taking is actually making changes that you are trying to be faithful with an adaptation for, and putting it out for people to critique and taking those things. So if you take The Witcher for season 1, for instance, there was a lot of criticism off of that, and they actually made some changes to help go into the storytelling of season 2. That actually took some risk, took some bravery to make those changes, to say, hey, it apparently didn't work the first season, so we're gonna make these little changes. That's what you do. You don't sit there and say, well, I'm going to make everybody gay and do all this other stuff, and that's going to win me applause, and I'm brave because of it. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I'm not convinced with this idea of the modern audience. I think that if you want to be very generic about the title, sure, modern audience might appreciate some of the changes, but the modern audience does not represent the demographic that enjoys fantasy on television, especially book adaptions. And so I think he's making excuses when he talks about, or anyone talks about, modern audience and being brave.
Is this
Because
the same audience that doesn't have any money and doesn't actually buy the comic book and doesn't actually support the people,
yeah,
but they're really good on thumbs upping and retweeting things?
that's
Is
exactly
that
my
the
point.
same
Yeah.
audience?
It's the same
Yeah,
audience. Yeah. They do not consume the content. They just celebrate the content. And
right.
so they're getting positive reinforcement of their actions, but the dollar, so to speak, isn't landing in their pockets. The ratings are going down. And if you did not have, as Manam Manethrin had pointed out in his amazing video, if the shill media did not write these reviews and become not the critical reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, but the overall reviews, and initially push it up all the way to 84% positive, and now it's crashing down. If those reviews did not already exist because they were the cheerleading squad when it was released, now you have people coming in with actual reviews, and that's why it's falling down. It's sort of overwhelming those faux positive reviews. And so that's why
Ki-
we're getting it coming down now. It'll probably hit 60% the next month.
Yep. Kyle, Manum and Ethrin, did you guys see this article? And this is the paragraph that this is where I threw my hands up in the air and just took my dog for a walk. So what it does is this: how does the show stack up as an adaptation? There were some major changes made in the first season, including the cutting of locations, oh God, in characters, several deaths, compressing storylines, and at least one major plot deviation that was likely the result of Barney Harris having to leave the production. Oh my
Well,
God.
it, one of the things I found interesting
Yeah.
about this is how the narrative has changed as the show has gone on, and the
Yep.
people at the beginning who were cheerleading for it saying, well, yeah, it's not going to follow the books, and we're going to have to do these changes, but for a modern audience. And it's the exact same talking points, and the same people by the end are saying, I can't believe they did these things. And like,
Yep.
really, I think that the idea of him joking about killing characters that people love and joking about that at the beginning, people were kind of on board with that, but now even the most hardcore Rafe supporters are saying, well, we kind of wish he wouldn't do that. And
Yeah.
what he's done is he's created a book, and I've seen other people talk about this, but he's created a serious story where you have to be a book reader to understand it, but he doesn't want the book readers to like it.
Exactly. Exactly. So he has made something. And remember that comment we covered a couple of weeks ago where he said that he was not making the show for those who loved the books and knew them pretty well. He wasn't making it for, he was making it, he wasn't making, what was the other one? He wasn't making it for people who were huge fans of science fiction and fantasy. He was making it for somebody who maybe read part of a book and
Yeah.
had maybe watched a little bit of fantasy. So, I mean, who the hell is that? I keep coming back to this was made for no one. So no one watched it. And I think as Manam and Ethrin covered, we start looking at the watch hours. I think that's borne out.
Yeah. The other thing too is that gives you a real big key as to how poor the writing is when they sit there and have to point to the external things that they've produced on the side to try and help enhance their storytelling or increase the depth of their world building. Yeah. And so and the funny thing is those additional things that they've created, they completely contradict in the show. So it doesn't even line up. They can't even line up their extra material to sit there and enhance this world that they've built out in the normal hour for their episodes. Yeah. So it all falls short.
If I have to tell someone a campfire story, let's say, we've all done it. You tell a campfire story and you proceed to tell a story and nobody gets it and people get up and walk away. And then the next morning you hand them off a piece of paper you went and Xerox that explains more of the story. Do you think people are going to get it or care later? I mean, that's the way I look at Wheel of Time. That's the way I looked at Star Wars and all that ridiculous, mangled up copium they came out with for Rise of Skywalker. So, I mean, again, this is just more of that shilling media stuff. In short, it felt like Wheel of Time had to make some really difficult choices to adapt a basically unadaptable story. Is it unadaptable?
No.
No. Okay. I mean, this is going to sound crazy, guys. What if you just spent multiple seasons on the first book? Am I crazy? I guess I'm crazy. Right?
You know what? What about instead of having Moraine in a sauna, we had Lan use his sword?
Yeah.
Right?
Dude.
Oh, I think he was using his sword in the sauna.
Wow. He wouldn't be allowed in there.
Zaxx, you just don't like strong women. You don't like strong, independent women. That's all it is, right?
Yeah, I'm busted. Can't stand him. That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, to go back to the article, I mean,
I'll be controversial on that idea if you guys can handle it. If everyone's sitting down, let's not do an actual book adaptation for Wheel of Time. Let's instead take little stories that happen within the Wheel of Time story within the books and just do a season covering a secondary character. Maybe I think that would be awesome. I would watch the shit out of that stuff. Follow use Tom Merlin's point of view and do a season based on him, or mix it up and have a couple of secondary. I would watch that.
Yeah,
Don't
there's
don't
no
yeah, don't
there's no
try
way.
to go ahead.
No, there's no way that the showrunner in that writing team they had rotating in and out would have been capable of doing anything like that.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I would watch the hell out of a seasonal anthology on Varen Sedai.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, part of the reason you would do that, though, and the Tom character is a good example of that, is he seems interesting, but the main characters that were put in front of us all season were as bland as they could possibly be. And even Moraine, who is, Rosamund Pike, she's nice to look at and she's a great actress, but like they gave her nothing to do. None of them were likable by the end at all. In fact, I liked them less by the end of the show than I did at the beginning.
Agreed. Agreed.
But Tom seems interesting.
Yeah, the characters we got were ran through every corporate algorithm out there, and the result is beige textured wallpaper on beige walls with beige carpet, and you guessed it, beige furniture. And it's like there was nothing edgy here. I mean, I keep coming back to Perrin's character. Perrin, what? Why did they even have Perrin in this adaptation? It literally, he was just is he the poster child for fantasy genre soy boys? Somebody tell me what Perrin was in season 1.
It was
I don't get it.
representation.
A plank of wood.
Representation.
Yep.
Yeah.
A placeholder for something else. I don't even know.
He's a human bookmark.
Yep.
To me,
It's terrible.
Jane Hamilton says Babylon 5 is getting remade, and oh god, please don't.
Yeah.
I know they
What's
are.
happening?
They're also talking about doing another Stargate SG-1 spinoff or whatever. Please don't. Not in 2022. Please, can we wait 20 years? I don't know. But yeah.
What was the one that I heard? Quantum Leap.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, yeah, with his daughter, of course, with his daughter.
Oh, why not?
So check this out. And one of the reasons Salon is celebrating the adaptation of Wheel of Time is, of course, the inclusions of what they perceive as plot lines from the books. Now tell me if you think this is true. The Aes Sedai politicking, they say, is from the books, and the Moiraine and Suan romance are from the books.
Not the ones I read.
False.
If you want to remove romance and just call it a fling before they were full Aes Sedai, sure.
I'm going to read this
right?
again. I'm
That
going to
was in
read
the
this
prequel.
again. I'm going to read this again because I want to make sure that I'm not I'm on cold meds because here in
Lyle,
Texas,
don't
the
tell me that.
cedar fever is bad. So the inclusion of plot lines from other books like the Aes Sedai politicking or Moiraine and Suan's romance also served the story well. What books were they reading? Oh, literally, Manam and Ethrin. What the hell am I reading here?
Yeah, it's more fan fiction, and I'll actually correct what I mentioned just a few seconds ago. There wasn't anything between Moraine and Swan that was directly mentioned in the books. It was, just personality definitions that were included in the compendium. But you want to talk about the politicking? The politicking happened just out of the normal interactions that would occur between the Ajahs when you actually got into the tower. That didn't happen until season 2, 3, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when the kind of politicking that they were postulating on the show didn't exist. That was such a crappy written wannabe drama that you can't even really consider that politicking. It's so poorly written. It's like House of Cards, except without being interesting.
Yeah. This goes back to episode 1. I still think they should have started the same way they did in The Eye of the World with Luz Theron. And I want a Luz Theron that doesn't look like he was dumpster diving at the Battlestar Galactica costume rummage sale. I don't want that. I want to lose Theron in an opulent timeline. If they would have had that, and they also would have explained that the tower and then what happened with the Red Aja and what happened with that Amerlin seat, and then the animosity between the Reds and the Blues. But see, we start down this road, and it's like every opportunity that, to me, it's pretty basic. I mean, this is something that you could do in 2 pages of screenplay and would have changed everything, and people would have leaned forward on their sofas and went, "Whoa, this is a big world. This is a world that has history and is rich." And instead, what do we get? We get the multicultural women's conference throwing chicks off a cliff in Emmons Field. I still don't understand that.
Well, first off, private chat, Corey. Also, more to that on that point is, had they opened with the Louis Theron opening that they should have with the breaking the world, they don't need dialogue to explain it. They can show us things, which this show hates to do, and that's part of Hollywood now too. Is they don't want to risk you thinking for yourself or you interpreting something the way they don't want to. So instead of doing that, they had to give us those 3 scenes and then lecture us 3 times and get it into our heads about how, this is all dude's fault. And that's what they wanted us to know. And so they had to tell us over and over and over again. They can't just show us.
Yep, true words. Yeah, I have nothing to say. You said it perfectly.
I don't know. I mean, I keep looking at this article, and I need to get to a couple of super chats, and I will. Hail to everybody who just did that. Thank you. But I just, this article to me is, where have we seen this before? I mean, Star Wars, Doctor Who. I mean, when are they going to start calling Wheel of Time book readers who love this series for years toxic? I mean, set your timers.
Oh, they already are.
They already are. Yeah, that's the
all
thing
right.
now. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we need to talk about that. And I'm gonna show this real quick. But
I've been doing some dumpster diving on Reddit, and
oh,
book reader is a pejorative. Like that's an insult, and it applies all these other things. But that's how it's being used. Can you imagine reading a book?
I can.
It's privilege.
Yeah, like reading the Constitution, I guess, is racist.
Yeah.
And knowing American history is, or let's be honest, world history from the 20th century. I guess that explains perfectly why the world we live in is the way that it is. And look who we have here with us tonight. We have Floral from Under a Rock. I want to shout out Floral. Very, very good guy. Does amazing works. He just put out his first multi-puppet review video today. I think it's freaking amazing. Just wanted to shout out Floral. Really good work. Up and coming YouTuber like the rest of us on this panel. So hail. So Mike, you're going to be on Floral's channel, aren't you? Pretty soon?
Yes, but not this account. It'll be, I think, in February. I believe is what he scheduled me.
Well, it's pretty close.
Or March. I don't know. I think the 16th or something.
I am going to go ahead and show this super chat. Thanks,
February
everybody.
16th. February 16th.
Thanks everybody for being patient with me, because I really wanted to cover this article. I think we've got to it, but what really bothers me is this whole thing where they're essentially inserting that the Moraine Suan romance is a great example of how this book, or how this adaptation is superior to the books that Robert Jordan wrote, which I literally, I think it's bullshit. I mean, you guys on the panel, I think you agree with me, but am I overstating that?
Well, of course it's bullshit. There's no amount of adjectives that these crazy people will throw at this proverbial wall to get it to stick. They want their latest and greatest to be the latest and greatest. And so even if it's a heaping pile of steamy hot garbage in the middle of an Austin, Texas summertime,
Yes,
then
sir.
it's still going to be the greatest thing they've ever put on their dinner plate.
True. True.
They know it's garbage. Like, these people understand it's garbage. They're not. They're pretending barely.
Yeah. Let me get to this super chat. This is from Paul Wolfley. I am going to go ahead and give you yet another super chat bit that I put together. Here you go. There you go. I'm mixing them up tonight. So this is a $5 super chat from Paul Wolfley. Hail to you, sir. Says, we have turned the corner. Fans aren't afraid of being labeled anymore like people were shut down criticizing Star Wars. The fear is gone. That is 100% true. Mike, tell me what you think. And here's the thing, Zaxx, I love this guy, Zach. He's my 14-year-old Twitter girlfriend. We're like girls in middle school who keep texting each other all the time. But Zaxx does a lot of moderating for a lot of different really great YouTubers, and he has undoubtedly seen a lot more than I have. But let's start with you, Kyle. Zaxx, are you seeing more fans responding, not being afraid, not caring about what old names people are calling them?
Yeah, I think I'm seeing that. I'm hoping that that's what I'm seeing. But the problem with it is that the more you do that, the more you get banished from general conversation. So Reddit's a good example of that with the Wheel of
Oh,
Time
yeah.
groups. If
Yes.
you were, there's a subreddit called the White Cloaks, which has grown up from people being banned from other groups, and it keeps
Wow.
growing and growing and growing, and it's a result of people not being able to speak their mind. They're not being the thought is that they're being abusive, but they're not. They just, and some people actually defend the show there. But now if you join that subreddit or you post in it, you're auto banned from a bunch of other ones. Like, so it's like it's a divide and
Are
we're
you
being
kidding me?
separated.
No,
No.
he's 100% right.
Yeah. I didn't
Wow.
I couldn't believe that. So I just posted a video in it and I got me banned on other subreddits.
Yeah.
So it's that divide. So we're more free with it, but it's just like it's not a conversation anymore.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean, I don't like using infinitives and saying always and every time, but there is, in my opinion, because again, I am the same age as Gary from Nerderotic. I am going to be 52 all too soon. And I'm seeing a lot of what I saw when I was in college in the 90s, and some of the wacko circles of the crazy college that I went are now, they've become ingrained across all of these aspects of our society, where people literally stick their fingers in their ears and go la 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 la, not, like 2 + 2 is 5. Don't tell me about the history. I want to believe in unicorns.
Mhm.
You have to treat me like I'm a cat if I'm
Hey,
meowing
hey,
you.
what are you saying about unicorns now?
Hey, you know what? No one's judging your sexual
And hammer.
proclivities, Mike. You do whatever you
Okay.
need to
All
do.
right,
So,
thank you.
anyway, let's circle back to Paul Wolfley, who's getting way too much detail about unicorns and Mike. So, hail to you. Thank you for the $5 super chat, sir. Yeah, I mean, and then we've got Jaden back. It's always good to see you, brother. Jaden saying Babylon 5 is getting remade, not a good sign. It's true. You don't need to screw around with Babylon 5. And I think, Mike, you had talked about how leave it alone, but update some of the effects the way they did with the OG Star Wars, with the original Trek, and if people want to look at it that way and have more sexy effects, they can. But we
Yeah,
don't
the
need another
story, the
Babylon
story is
5.
amazing. There is a little bit of a problem with the story, however, in which JMS, which is was it John Michaels? I can't pronounce his last name. You help me out,
Yeah.
somebody.
Straczynski.
Straczynski.
Yeah.
He was always being told, yeah, this is your last season. So I think season 2, this is your last season. Then they renewed at the last second. So he was constantly trying to wrap up the story, only to be told you have another season of storytelling. So it was like he kept stumbling through the entire story arc. Not his fault. I think he's a great writer. I really enjoy the story arc of Babylon 5. There's a couple of movies that he made to try to fill in some of the inconsistencies. try to explain it because of those issues. So if you're going to come at it from, I want to remake Babylon 5 to tell the story correctly without these hiccups, that would be fine. But that's not what they're going to do. We all know that. They're going to wokenize it. It's going to happen. So it's unfortunate, but we have the original still. So
That's true. We do. And my only, I guess, the positive I can pull from anything recent that's been a remake is Battlestar Galactica, which I did really enjoy. And so I hold on to that still and hoping that because JMS is doing this show again, even though it's going to be on the CW, which is not, that's depressing, that he won't kill his own child.
Wait a minute. They've confirmed that the long delayed BSG remake is going to CW.
Oh no! I'm talking about. Sorry, I got confused.
Babylon 5?
Probably. Yeah. I'm saying
Oh,
Battlestar was
dude,
an example of
that's
a good remake, and that JMS maybe will try to do a good remake.
Yeah, I don't see anything good coming on CW, and I know people, you are all allowed to like what you like. I am just a grouchy dude named Salty Texas C, and that name is accurate. So I don't see that. I don't see that as belonging on the CW. But remember what's going on with the CW.
Yep. Got woke, went broke.
It's a fire sale. So maybe if somebody buys it and they get some of these rights in existing contracts, maybe things will change. But I don't know. At this point, I'm not blackpilled, but what I am is I'm like, show me. Show me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the way I'm feeling about Moon Knight. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with that, but I was not impressed by that trailer. I saw a lot of what I thought was B-roll, and I did not see a lot of superhero or a lot of compelling story or action. So I don't know. You guys tell me if you have a different perspective on that.
I think, well, first we should probably get to Lyle Hammocks. He's got a couple of super chats there.
Oh, Lord. I know. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Oh my gosh, Lyle Hammock, $50 super chat. Let me go ahead and pull you up something. I am a one-person operation, so bear with me. Let's get you something here. Here you go.
You have my soul.
I don't know if that let's do that one more time. I seem to have an error on my side.
It worked.
You have my soul.
All right, I don't know what's going on. Don't buy Restream, boys and girls. I am looking for a new app. Lyle Hammock, $50 super chat. Thank you. Says,
Very
I
cool.
just finished The Great Hunt. Oh, God, yes. Oh, I am so jealous. Oh, my God. Can you guys imagine reading The Great Hunt for the first time again? Oh, wow.
Still my favorite book. Still my
I
favorite.
love that book. I love it. So just finished The Great Hunt, an amazing book with one of the best endings, but yeah, I have ever read. I honestly don't know how they are going to do it justice in season 2 when you have these idiotic hacks writing it. The Rand's arc is amazing. Hail to you, Lyle Hammock. Manamanathran, Mike, Zaxx, comment on your experience with The Great Hunt. I just
Yeah, it completely sold me on Robert Jordan. The Eye of the World was good. Above my normal reading standards. Got to Great Hunt, finished it, sat there stunned. Writing can't be this good. I love this. Absolutely love it. And it is the book that's responsible for my journey down the Wheel of Time rabbit hole, the Robert Jordan universe. Loved it. Absolutely fantastic book. Now, are there books in this series that are objectively better? Yes, but I will always say that The Great Hunt was that book for me. It was the one that I would always say, if you're going to start the series, read the first 3 books. If you're not sold by then, you never will be.
Yeah. I mean, The Eye of the World can kind of wander a little bit if you're not super focused. But The Great Hunt is to me like a rocket to the moon. Man and Ethrin, I know you're chomping at the bit. What do you got to say about that?
Yeah, The Great Hunt is the book that brings Robert Jordan's style to the forefront.
Boom. Boom.
He had to do Eye of the World as pretty nearly to a Tolkien-esque style of storytelling, but once he had the success of that under his belt, he took his own style, said, okay, Great Hunt is where I'm going with it, and then the rest of this series is going to be all mine, and he showed everybody what he was made of.
You could see the joy. I mean, and it's crazy. I like everybody else in the chat and on this panel, we've read a lot of books, right? And we've read some amazing science fiction and fantasy. We have read some mediocre science fiction and fantasy, and then we have put down the bad stuff. But you can tell when you literally are in the writer's head because you can hear their voice. You can see it in the way they've written the sentences. The author is talking to you. It's such an intimate experience with you in that story. And that, to me, The Great Hunt, like Mike said, The Eye of the World is a great book. It's a little, you could see he was tentative. He really was. But The Great Hunt, holy cow, he filled it up with premium, double clutched it, and left a black tire track 100 feet down the interstate, just taking off with that.
A lot of the feedback I get on Eye of the World from people that I recommend is once they get on the road, like once they leave the two rivers and they are on that initial journey, it gets very long-winded. They call it, my wife calls it the road, like they're still on the road, and I go, yeah, but I like that. I don't know, I like that part of the book. I don't.
Yeah.
It's world building to me. It's character building to me. And sure, it is, nothing really happens that much, but at the same time, it's the kind of journey that I personally really like in the books. So I don't complain.
What about you, Kyle? Zaxx, what's your opinion on that?
Well, here we go, because I never finished that book.
Get out. Wait a minute.
didn't.
Nobody told me.
Boot his ass.
Never read
now.
it.
Oh,
Never read it.
Wait. I actually have something created for situations like this. This, my friend, was made just for you.
Son of a bitch.
Nope.
There
I was balls deep in the EU at the time, and so I read the first book,
Okay.
and I was drawn back to the EU, and
I get it.
I rode that train for a while. They're very different books. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what happened. I never came back.
And you know I love you, brother. I just need to give you some.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We need to create some YouTube drama because there hasn't been enough of that in the last 48 hours.
None. And I see that Squeaker Mouse is very upset with me, but I'll make it up to you, I promise.
Hail to you, Lyle Hammock, in the chat. I am doing the best that I can. I appreciate you guys, all of your comments. I am doing triple duty right now, so I am going to bounce around and try and catch up to where we're at. I need to catch up to another super chat somewhere in here. Actually, here, I'm going to go ahead and show this. I thought this was an interesting comment, and this one comes to us from Otherwise. I'm halfway through The Great Hunt now, still trying to wash the taste of Rafe out of my mouth. Boy, that's an image I didn't need. Having a blast rereading, though, so thanks to the show for that. It's true. I mean, I'm just some
Rafe's boyfriend.
I am just some small channel. And the only reason I'm where I'm at is because of all of you showed up tonight, you leaving comments. But I have had a couple people through the videos I've made say it was only because of you insisting. And it's not just me. Zaxx, Mike, Amanda Manethrin, Prophet of the Dragon, other channels that are out there saying this is nothing like the book, go read the books. That people are picking the book up and they are so happy to read it. And it's like, that brings me so much joy. I mean, I'm not trying to crap all over $1 trillion globalist corporation who's in control of everything. I'm trying to get people to look at the intellectual property as it was created. And if they find joy, I think that's beautiful, because the world we live in now, we all need some joy.
Very
Well
true.
said.
We do.
Well said.
Yep. Agreed.
So
Yeah, the difficulty you run into is when you say intellectual property, you're forcing people to say intellect. And that just gets somebody out of the hive mind right away.
yeah, as opposed to property, which is very equal to content, isn't it?
That's why they say IP. They probably don't know what it means.
It's true. It's true. We got another super chat from Lyle Hammock, and I now need to scramble over. I'm going to give you yet another one. Let's see what we got here. There we go. That was the Wolf Brother emoji that I created for my channel memberships. And if you all are using them in the chat, thanks for doing that. If anyone has any feedback about how I can make them better or things you'd like to see, my Twitter DMs are open, as well as I am on Minds and Getter. So feel free to reach out. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. So this
Well, and
is
to let everybody know, too, that picture was a character by the name of Perrin. We haven't seen him in the show. So, but he is
oh my God.
awesome.
So then in the books, do him and Rand hook up?
Not
Mike's
even
mad.
in the compendium.
He's not even laughing and he's mad.
Oh my God. Mike, what are you thinking? You're turning red. Tell me
no,
what's
I
this
just,
dude got- It's crazy. It's all so surreal. And thank you for that, Amanda Menethrin. That's why I put Perrin in there, because he's a Wolf Brother. And it's nothing that you would have gotten from the $80 million first season of Amazon's Wheel of Time. But if you read the books, you'll see the analogy. So hail for that shout out. So I'm going to get to the super chat. Let me get to the super chat. And it's like, so $10. This is from Lyle Hammock. Thank you again, sir, very much. After reading the book, I see Moraine very similar. Oh, this is fascinating. Very similar to Gladriel, a very mysterious woman who obviously has power and knowledge, like we saw in the Fellowship of the Ring, not what we got on the show. Thoughts, panel. And hail to you, Lyle Hammock. What do you guys
I have a
think
theory about this, actually. I'm going to do a video on it, and I'm going to spoil my own video right now by saying Moraine is a villain, and I can prove it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So Mana Menethrin, what do you think about that? What do you think about Lyle Hammock's comment there?
That's actually a very interesting parallel that I've never really considered. But you can definitely see how the personality types match up, because they are kind of enigmatic in their operation. Galadriel, you go through that part in the book, and you're just kind of like, you're weird, and I don't know what to make of you, but I'll trust that you're a good guy or good gal, and it just, and I felt that way a lot of the time about Moraine going through the books, because she's got this. She's obviously got a goal set in mind, but hers is a little bit more clear cut, because her objective is always surrounding the boys and making sure that she's protecting them.
Whoa! Wait a minute. The boys? She's concerned with the boys from Emmons Field? Why would she be? Wait a minute. Wait, I thought the dragon could be a man or a woman or whatever. You mean she was concerned about the boys from Emmons Field? Interesting.
Yes, I know, isn't it?
Mike, what's your take on this Gladriel to Moiraine analogy?
I have
to you.
I have to say, I can't draw the parallel myself. I think that Galadriel comes across way, way wiser and orders of magnitude more powerful and much more mysterious. And she isn't proactive in her mission to defeat the shadow. Moraine is literally dragging the boys, through the story by their earlobes and say, you will be here and you will do this. And if you don't step up and do what you're told, I will end you. And so it's a little bit different in those ways and more. And I appreciate the parallel, but I my mind doesn't go there. I think more highly of Gladriel than I do Maureen.
I think
True story.
to respond to the super chat directly, that I think that Galadriel, I can see the comparison. I think Galadriel though is she appears more powerful without ever having to tell you how powerful she is. It's just it's her character.
Mm-hmm.
I think Moraine is more flexy.
Flexible.
Sorry. Hail to you again, Lyle Hammock. And the chat jumped on me, so I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much for the super chat. And last time I checked, we had 40 in chat. That's amazing. You all, thank you. None of this would be possible without your views and likes and shares and even your criticism. And so thank you very much for that. So look, okay, great. And I jumped on the wrong one. Thanks a lot, Bard. That's awesome. Let's see here. Something for the kids at home. Yeah, this is true. And this is from, we've talked about this, but Jaden Hamilton, most of the Aes Sedai in the show aren't even attractive. Now, obviously, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but
True words.
Panel.
True words.
How do Aes Sedai look?
Well, we
What
know
is
they're
their-
ageless.
Yep.
Ageless, young, for the most part attractive or handsome, depending on their age. Yeah. Even Leandrin's supposed to be very good looking.
So she's not supposed to be from the Uncanny Valley?
No.
Okay.
Man and Manethrin, you got something to say. I know you do.
When you look at the show, I didn't see one attractive Aes Sedai at all, because their personalities are completely ripping any sort of beauty that they would have as characters out of it. When you get to the books and you're reading the books, Moraine's attractive. So many of them are, as you meet them, even the ones that aren't terribly impressive, you still get this sense of this timeless beauty that still overlies their looks.
And they're all shapes and sizes. There are not all of them are just, Swedish triathletes, but what they do look ageless, and they have a certain look that is uncanny.
Yeah.
So.
And it's because they don't want to draw the male gaze, right? I mean, it's a feminist show, feminist empowerment. They don't want you talking. They don't want you on a panel like this talking about how attractive this Aes Sedai is or this female actor is. They don't want that, because that's
I made my significant other watch a little bit of Wheel of Time with me, and she said,
"Oh, okay."
She said, "Why?" Thanks, Mike. It's great. I know you got to go. We'll see you again next week. No, she said, "Why did they make all of the women look so masculine?" And here's the thing, and I call me a conspiracy theorist, and I don't care that I'm a Caucasian male and heterosexual. I have a right to an opinion. And if people don't like it, there's Twitter. But, there's nothing wrong with feminine women being feminine. And that can be all shapes and sizes and colors and haircuts and all this other stuff. You don't need to make women into male archetypes. You can make very strong female archetypes that are still incredibly feminine. And we just talked about when we talked about Gladriel, but there's a countless ones that are present within Robert Jordan's story, one of which they mutilated by the name of men.
Mhm.
What other, I mean, you guys on this panel, talk to me about the other feminine. None of these women in the books who were written the way they were are softies, are uh damsels in distress. They are badasses, but they become badasses through training, through mentoring, through making mistakes, and they are not overpowered married suit. Tell me what you
Well,
guys think.
okay, well, first off, I know why it happened, and one of the reasons it happened is because, now be ready for this. Rafe Judkins is a catty bitch. That's why.
He's also a male feminist,
Yes.
which, as I said in my videos, I would run like hell from that.
And then the other thing is that, can you imagine being cast because you're not good looking? Like you're a 5, so you're going to get this job because you're a 5. How would you feel
That's
about
that.
that?
That's equity.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Well, when you're
That's
the
equity.
the Scottish lady in transitioning in the hot tub with Moraine, you're feeling pretty good about yourself because you got a job.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but these are the same people that sit there and take a character like Min, who is really explicitly a tomboy in the books, but
Yep.
she has this very feminine and very beautiful quality to her in not just personality, but also in looks, that it captures Rand's attention. He sees her in book 1, doesn't see her again for how long is it? How many
A
books?
long
But he's
damn, like
always
4,
drawn.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 5 or 6 even. I mean, and it's a long time, but he's captivated by her. And they misunderstand, either unintentionally or intentionally, that tomboy doesn't mean does not mean denial of gender or whatever.
No.
It's just it's a personality trait, and but they want to sit there and change all of that because they look at that as an opportunity to present another narrative.
It's another superficial self-insertion. That's whenever I saw changes in Wheel of Time season 1, all I did was imagine who was in that writer's room and imagine what their insecurities were, and whatever they did to those characters in that story. I think, in my opinion, I can tell you exactly who they were, but maybe that's just me being a Russian brat, misogynist, phobe, something.
I knew you were a Russian bot.
Dude, I worked on my accent, you know. I want to drink. No, that's
well.
actually.
You did
I
That's
was
well.
gonna do
Transylvania.
Dracula. I
Yeah.
can't do Russian. I can do Dracula. Mike, what do you think about that? You have stayed noticeably quiet on this whole feminine constructs and the
Oh no,
deconstruction of
I
them.
started it off. I was saying that, because Rafe's the feminist and he has the feminist notes in the script, that he doesn't want to draw the male gaze at any of the people he cast. He doesn't want any of the women to be attractive because it's sexist and it's misogynistic and all those things. So,
Mhm.
he did it deliberately. He doesn't
But
he
but
doesn't
as I
want us to he doesn't want us talking about how good looking any of the actors are.
but somebody's
Female.
eye candy boyfriend
Yeah.
can have a whole storyline written for an episode and a half that never existed in the books.
Sure.
Do we see the double standards?
Mhm.
And I'm just going to shout out to David Austin. He asks, how about them Cowboys? Well, I have said this for a long time. There's a lot of changes to that organization that need to be made, and I think it starts at the top. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, hail to you, David Austin. And I am trying to catch up with the chat. You guys are on fire.
We got a couple super chats.
I'm going to get there. I was trying
Come
to get
on,
a lovely
Corey.
Sherry. Dude,
Oh,
come on. I
yeah,
want to acknowledge people.
Get lovely Sherry. Yeah. Hi,
I
lovely
know.
Sherry.
Oh, hi, Sherry. Why are you not stabby tonight? What's going on? You guys
Because
know
she's
that? Like,
watching us.
Sherry's lovely, and she always reaches out when we're on other people's streams. And, we tag each other, especially for Brightest Day or Culture Casino or Tom Midnight's Edge. And I always see lovely Sherry, but sometimes she's stabby Sherry. And I keep wondering, are they going to find a body tomorrow? But I don't know. That's neither here nor there. Let's get to this super chat. And thanks for keeping me honest. And this is from the Thad Shouldn't Be. And I'm going to go ahead and give you some love. Hold on un momente.
Is that Welsh?
I don't know. I don't see enough Y's in it to be Welsh. Am I wrong about
Good
that?
point. You're right. You're right. You got me.
Yeah. Hail to that shouldn't be. And again, I am old and doing the best that I can with your really cool names. So $5 super chat says, I am almost glad some of these adaptations are disasters. While they have to take the hit, it may discourage other authors from giving up control. Interesting point.
Yep.
I'm not sure Brandon Sanderson falls in that category. Panel, what do you think about that statement?
I agree with the statement. I think that that's the best we can hope for. Maintain control of your work, but I got to be honest. If I wrote a series or a book or whatever, and somebody wanted to option it, and they said, "Look, we're going to pay you this many millions of dollars, but we get creative control over your characters and your story," and I look over my shoulder and I have my kids back there that want to go to college, and I
Yeah.
got to pay health insurance, and I got to I hate the neighborhood I live in, or whatever my reasons are. Not selling out is not as easy as people think, but I like the idea behind what he said here. Okay, I like the point where, yeah, you should maintain control, and you need to protect your characters and your stories, and more people should do that. And with regards to Brandon Sanderson, he clearly is just selling out. He wants his books turned into shows. He won't even stand up for Robert Jordan. I have Brandon Sanderson books. I have plenty of them. I liked him at some point. I won't be buying any more of his books. That's my take on it.
Well, that's a hot take, Mike. No more books. You wouldn't read him again?
Nope, I'm done.
I think that I agree with this. I think I'm glad that this is so bad, and I hope that what it does also is it maybe if you're going to do an adaptation, that you're going to make sure that you keep the core fan base, because when you do an adaptation and you're using an IP, what you're really doing is you're buying a fan base that already exists. That's what you're doing. You're buying a fan base that exists, and you know what product they want. And so all of these companies that overreach to try to bury that fan base and reach a different one, it's never successful long term. It doesn't work. And I also hope that Rafe Judkins is not going to get another job after this. I hope.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've said this before. I think, like a lot of things that are occurring in the world, and entertainment in particular, people keep asking, including normies like my better half. She says, why do they keep doing this to all these stories? Because there was this, like romancy book from the 90s that she loved, and Amazon just made an adaptation of it. And of course, they wokeified it. The characters did not look or sound anything like the characters that she left from the books. And she got so angry, she literally slammed the remote down, and she's like, why can't they just make their own stories? And it's like, there's nothing racist about that. There's nothing istophobic about that. I think people are just tired of it.
Because the left is creatively bankrupt, and anything that they make, it's going to fail immediately. And so the only way they get any viewers at all is to bring, and as Zaxx just said, you bring an established reader base along with you, and you use it for a vehicle to push your agenda. And so if they just made their own stuff, it flops immediately. It's dead on arrival. So they have to do that. They have no choice.
Yeah, well, look at Batwoman and all their other, crappy shows that they've tried to sit there and prop up. You cannot sit there and write these shows well, because nobody wants to listen to those stories. When you sit there and insert your own things into IPs like they've done with Wheel of Time and everything, they've ruined the basis for any good character development, plot development, or anything, because they don't have the ability or nor the desire to do proper development. Those things aren't easy. Those things take time, and they don't want to do either of them.
100%. I also believe this, and this is my opinion, in every damn adaptation, whether it be on Disney Plus, Amazon, Netflix, whatever. These shows are being deliberately destroyed, and they're being destroyed to demoralize us because, over the last 2 years we haven't had enough bad things go on. And I know someone's gonna have to prove to me that there are this many incompetent, untalented creatives who made it through the gauntlet of ESG score, casting, and hiring procedures that all end up with the exact same changes, messages in all of these properties, regardless of science fiction, fantasy, even these crazy, like romance light books from the 90s. That I mean, this isn't an accident. Now, do I wear a tinfoil hat on that, Zaxx, Mike, Manam, and Ethrin? Am I out in left field or right field, depending on how you look at it?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a reason these people are put in charge, and companies like Amazon are willing to greenlight 3 seasons of a show before it even starts airing, and before they get reviews or if they've even watched it themselves, I'm sure. And they had to have known the last 2 episodes were going to be a mess when they renewed those two more seasons. And I think it's because, like you said, it's the message first. And I also think there's something else going on in Hollywood, and part of it is because I think a lot of people recently are not getting paid well in Hollywood anymore. It's not a easy check to cash. If you're in a movie, you're going to be able to retire and pick your projects. I think that people are the prices are coming down. They don't pay writers anything. Actors
True.
are not. No movie is based on an actor anymore, except for like there's Tom Cruise and maybe a couple others, but not like it used to be. So a lot of it is now based on pats on the back, and because you're not getting paid, you want that love, and you want the credit for changing the world. And so that's why I think one of the reasons we have so much pushback on the fans from these writers and from these stars, because they don't have the money to go on a vacation from this project and let us say what we want to say. They want credit, damn it, because that's what they're doing it for.
Didn't we?
That's my tinfoil hat for the day.
Yeah. Didn't we also talk recently about this, Corey, where the discussion was that the people being put in charge don't have a history. They don't have
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't have a background.
Yeah.
In the story at all.
Right. No, I bet the qualifications of the showrunners and such.
Oh,
they
geez.
don't have.
We did this last week, and when we talked about Lord of the Rings, and it's again. I mean, like I started sniffing around Wheel of Time about a year ago. I made my first video, and it was an ugly video that I left up on my channel. It is in my salty Salish sea folder because I was living in a different part of the country at that time, and I started to highlight the same things that we are now seeing or we have been seeing, Lord of the Rings. And again, does that mean it's going to be the same woke abomination, neo-Marxist trash fire has Wheel of Time? Maybe not. But at this point, I'm out of benefits of the doubt to give anyone. Let me get to this super chat from Al Dan. Al Dan, I actually was holding this off for somebody to make a reference. This is for you.
Toss a coin to your witcher.
That was pretty well timed. Thank you very much, Al Dan, for 10 Australian dollars. Just tossing a coin to the YouTuber. Smiley face. Love your work, lads. Hail to you, Al Dan. Down under. We wish we could buy you a pint. And I guess that's probably all I'll say about Australia. Thanks a lot, Eldan. That was great. We love having you on the chat. It's awesome. It's, we have people from Vietnam, Indonesia, Australia, South Africa, South America. It's we're united in our love of the stories that we love, whether it be Wheel of Time. Obviously, Lord of the Rings is a global encompassing phenomena and has been for almost 100 years. Well, it's been 80 years. And now here we are. And we just want to talk to somebody else that says we're not crazy for not liking the woke dumpster fires that they're making for us.
Yep. Yep. And that's where we all found each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Mike and I found each other. I mean, and I keep telling the story. I didn't know who Mike is. I still don't know who Mike is. He could be some serial killer wherever he is. But
For sure.
we just started. We saw each other's videos. We started talking on Twitter. Same thing, Zaxx. I'd seen him moderating on channels. Reached out on Twitter. We just started talking and hanging out. And now here we are, with almost 50 people in the chat hanging out. And we are so glad you're here with us. So hail to everybody,
Yep.
and hail to you, Aldan.
I had to try to coax Zaxx into doing his own videos and live streams because he was happy just moderating, and I'm like, no, Zaxx, come on, you got a lot more to say. Let's get in here and do it.
It's true, and I do like it, so I'm glad I took your advice.
Yeah.
This is fun. It's what, making videos is harder than I thought it was, but it is fun.
It is hard.
No
It is hard.
joke there.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Mhm.
Once you a 7-minute video on Batgirl will take multiple hours if you're obsessive compulsive like
Oh,
I
well,
do.
then you guys are doing it wrong. It takes me a 7-minute video. It takes me 8 minutes.
I was gonna make a joke, but about
It's
like 6-minute
lasting
abs.
7 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
if I could last 7 minutes, I'd be the hero. No,
anything
but
over
look,
2 minutes is bonus.
yeah, exactly. No, but look, I used to make these 3-4 hour videos and then try to figure out how to get them down to under an hour, and I just couldn't do it. So, yeah, now I'm just like say some stuff. Like today, I did 2 videos, and one I had the desktop audio muted, so I'm sitting there playing video clips. No one could hear it, so I had to start over. So I still make my mistakes, and it does take a while, but maybe an hour. I think an hour is more realistic.
Manna Manethrin, you wanted to say something?
I actually got to jump off here, but I wanted to say thanks for having me on.
Oh, it is so great to have you on. Thank
Yes,
you so much for showing up. We hope you feel better.
Yeah, thank you very much for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks.
Very cool.
Everybody in the chat, check
yeah.
out Amanda Manethrin. He is under the weather right now, but he has done some fantastic analytical work around Wheel of Time. We will talk about this in another live stream. The math that you did on viewership, which was actually recently covered in Bounding into Comics, that took a lot of the information we, in my opinion, talked about a couple of weeks ago, and they started to look at it in the same way. And I think it's just great. It's just great that we're all sort of seeing all of these things now. So hail to you. Get better, sir.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much. So if you get a chance, check it out.
Links in the chat form,
leave
so
comments
please go follow him.
and any recommendations you got for me, I'll take a look.
Cheers.
For sure.
Have a great
For sure.
evening. Get some rest.
Yep. Feel better, man. Of Manethrin.
All right.
So
No,
we got
Bella's the
H-
creator. Bella's the creator.
I know. That's why I dropped this in here. I was wondering how long it would take for you to say that. So is Bella not the dragon? Well, we will see. I mean, and of course, we're talking about Ray Judkins' adaptation. So I am catching up on the chat. You guys vamp a little bit for me.
When do we talk about Manethrin? Like, do we start now? Do we wait like 5 minutes? How does that work?
Yeah.
We're not live, are we?
Sure.
Oh my God, you guys are so meta. You guys make me want to have a soy
Wolfie.
latte. Oh my God.
Wolfie mentions, the Russian system over there of crime and punishment. He reminded me almost identical story. Some guy killed a guy who messed with his daughter. Charges will not be filed. And I was like, why can't we have that here?
Well,
Yeah.
you can. You just don't get caught, I guess. But
Yeah, you don't.
anyway, so Rick Salva says Min was pretty and young in the books, and that is no lie. She also was just streetwise, and her powers were not her powers were not like Rafe Judkins showed in season 1. Mike, do you have you guys don't have to agree with me, Zaxx. If you imagined Min's powers, would they have looked like what we got with do you remember that scene with Nynaeve melting down like she's the Wicked Witch of the West in that vision?
It looked like you'd had a few beers. That's kind of what her vision was. A few too many beers. The lights are a bit dim. That's her vision. There was nothing special about that. I didn't like it at
Oh
all.
my God. Rafe Judkins roofie beer goggles. That's what that was. Wow.
Yeah, no, I always pictured in my mind some sort of a rotating image of symbolism that goes around that the symbolism means something, but that's just how I thought of it in my head. I got a picture to share of what that image that I always share on Twitter. This is who I always think Min looks like.
Oh,
She's Min,
absolutely.
she's Min to me. Just sharing that with chat.
Absolutely.
She's
Yep.
from season 1, episode 1 of The Witcher.
Yep.
And that
Yep.
character, other than for the most part, is Min. Tomboyish, but feminine, attractive. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that to me is a very attractive I get tomboyish, but also earthy.
Mhm.
Earthy, streetwise, feminine, tough. I don't get any type of I'm trying to be something else, or that this is a woman who is embodying the immature masculinity of a petulant adolescent boy, which I'm not entirely sure why they're imposing that underdeveloped immature masculinity onto male characters, but I probably just got canceled for that. Let me get to a super chat we got here. And this one comes again to us from that shouldn't be. Oh my God, you guys are crazy. That's a $10 super chat. Let me go in deep into my bag of tricks for this one.
And you have my bow.
And my axe.
Hail to you. That shouldn't be. Says, and super chat's blowing up. That and that shouldn't be. That is the guess that Mike has as to how I'm supposed to say her name in the private chat. So I'm just sharing a little inside baseball with you guys in the chat. Interesting enough, Moiraine is most like. Oh, interesting enough. Moiraine is most like in the book Lord of the Rings is Boromir. Oh, both are following on a trail of a prophecy until they met the one fulfilling it, aka ergo Aragorn is to Boromir as Rand is to Moiraine. This is some good deep diving.
Yep.
This is why I love fandom.
Yep.
This is the kind of stuff that we used to talk about rolling dice with Dungeons and Dragons second edition, drinking Mountain Dew, eating Tombstone pizzas in Reagan's second term in the late 80s. These are the conversations I love. Mike,
Somebody
Kyle,
said
what do you think?
earlier Gandalf was more in parallel to Moraine, which I agreed with. But this is even better, I think, because this is a much more analytical part of it. Yeah, I like this.
That's brilliant. I think.
Mhm.
I never would have thought of that myself, but that's a great comparison.
Wow. I've said it before, and I'm not just blowing smoke up anybody's proverbial bunghole. You guys in the chat are so much smarter than us. You really are. I mean, and like so many other things in life, if you just open your ears up and you listen to other people and not just yourself talk, you will learn new things. Tonight, this is some damn good stuff, and I'm pretty sure Mike just ran off to go make another video based on this analogy. So, thank you very much for that super chat, sir.
I think that Min looks like she could have been Rand's aunt or babysitter, but not love interest. And not the fun kind of babysitter like on certain other channels. But the not fun kind of babysitter. And there's no chemistry at all between any characters on the show except for maybe Rand and Perrin. Oh, look at your book. Ooh.
Whoa, show that again. Show that again to the people. Oh yeah, you and I have talked about that. I
I got several of the Dungeon Master's Guide. I'll send you guys one if you want one.
We got Paulie here. Latino Slant has stopped by. Thanks for
Hey,
coming, Paulie.
Paulie, you want to jump in? If so, Zaxx, you want to send him a link? I would love to have Paulie jump on the chat. Paulie does great work. Really fantastic mover and shaker with having and I got to tell you this, over Christmas time, he and Culture Casino and Tom from Midnight's Edge were doing a all request Christmas song karaoke, and I and Mr. Jim Beam might have sent him way too much money to sing songs badly, but I have absolutely no regrets at all. So hail to you, Paulie. You guys vamp for me a second. I'm going to do a little back room thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Not backdoor thing, though.
No.
Okay. All right, good. All right. What else you got there, Mike? Tell us what you're showing us.
All right. Got just my second edition stuff, since people in chat were talking about second edition, which is the only edition for me. This is not actually a second edition module. This is just something I happen to have. So I'm just showing you. Where's my camera? It's over there. I got some modules. This is one that I'm very proud of. It's like pristine condition, no bent corners. I don't think it's ever been opened. Again, not a second edition module, just happened to be a module that I like. Dungeon Master screen that I got off of eBay. Yep. It comes with, what is this one? Terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Trouble at Tragador. Really cool. And then, of course, all of the individual handbooks, priests, fighter. I got 2 fighters, so I'll sell one or I'll give one away to whoever wants it. Humanoids. Wizard.
Wait a minute, Mike. Are you telling me you're not just a fake geek and a fake nerd, where you've got a group of ideological writers creating content for your fandom show?
Oh no, that's all. That's all true. No, that's all true.
Okay. All right. Okay. God, Lyle Hammock, you are lighting it up tonight with the super chats. $5 says, "What is your guys' view on the fact funny you should ask. Let me restart. What is your guys' view on the fact that Warner Brothers is replacing Batman and Superman with Batgirl and Supergirl? He finds it absolutely hilarious." Well, Lyle Hammock, if you haven't checked out the video I dropped, God, they all run together, I think it was yesterday. I absolutely talk about all of that, in my opinion on it, what we know about it, and also some other characters that are in it, and the fact that Batgirl is not being released in the movie theaters. That's how much faith Warner Brothers has in this decision. They're releasing it only to HBO Max. I am going to give you one of my custom made. Let me see if I can do this without totally boomering it. I think we might have to recycle. There we go. And I really hope that actually showed up on screen, because Restream is being really tricky tonight. Did you guys see that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, 10-4. Thanks a lot, Lyle. That's fantastic. And Paulie, I did send you the link. If you're busy, no worries. I just an open invite anytime. We'd love to have you on the show.
I mean, I am a member of his channel, but he doesn't follow me on Twitter, so I couldn't send him the link. I tried.
I follow him and I sent it to him. So don't worry about it, Zaxx. We're all making this up as we go along. So it's no big. We're just glad to have everybody hanging out with us tonight. So let me get back to my triple duty job. Well, this is true. I don't normally put this type of thing on the screen, but in this case, Rick Silva, you are not wrong. We're just gonna say that. But let's get back to the. I'm bouncing all over the place here. So yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and answer Lyle Hammock's question. So I actually, like I said, did a 7-minute video that I dropped yesterday where I covered this, and it really sprang off of the fact that I did a Batman video, and by Batman, there's an asterisk by that. Robert Pattinson, we all heard about the drama with him and Zoe Kravitz and the what didn't happen on the hood of that Batmobile, and then Matt Reeves almost firing his ass off the movie. Well, it turns out that if you all remember, there was this Smoulet in Chicago who might have had a little bit of trouble with law enforcement. Well, he has a sister, and there is some scuttlebutt going around that his sister, Journey Schmule, is going to potentially be a deeper DCEU character called Black Canary. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm just running with what I'm seeing and I'm qualifying it as rumors. Mike, Zaxx, do you have any opinion on the post Snyderverse Warner Brothers insanity?
Well, she was Black Canary in the Birds of Prey movie, the one that sucked.
Oh, okay.
That I didn't watch.
Dude,
So it makes sense.
I didn't watch that stuff. Like, I just saw it and I was like, this looks stupid. So I okay.
I'm with you. I didn't watch it either, but she was in that film and she did play Black Canary.
Okay.
But aside from that, I don't. I mean, I'll give it a chance. I give everything a chance, and hope. I always hope it's going to be good. We'll see. But Birds of Prey look like a garbage fire, so I don't have a ton of hope for what they do next.
Yeah. Mike,
Okay.
you have an opinion?
Yeah, I have. I'm playing a little devil's advocate here. I don't give a crap about Superman or Batman. I've never been a DC fan. I guess Wonder Woman back in the day, Linda Carter. That's my only.
Thanks for being on the show, Mike. We'll have you on again real soon. I know you gotta go. Bye.
Well, Flora wants to come on, so if you want to bring Flora on, he can replace me. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's all played out. I wouldn't watch anything related to either of them. So if you want to change it up, bring in a new audience, do something different.
Look
what
at
the
Paulie.
hell? I don't care.
Paulie, sir, welcome to my channel. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Hello, Paulie.
Yeah, thanks, Paulie. He brings the handsome.
He does. He brings the handsome in the hat. And you might be muted unless I have muted you. It's restream. You might, if you need to bounce in. No, you are set. You may need to drop and come in, dude. We can't hear you at all. I'm sorry. Yeah, try bouncing back in and out. I'm sorry. Yep, we can't hear you. Let's try it again. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, no, I mean, it's restream. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel and doing live streams, this would not be the first. I would not pick restream as the app you go with. How you doing, Paulie? Is your mute button on your microphone? I can't hear him at all.
No. Can't hear you, Paulie.
I can't hear you, brother. Sorry, dude. We can't hear you. Sorry. I'm going to hit him in the private chat, or Zaxx if you want to.
Yeah, there's a button on your Blue Yeti that you could push to unmute. If it's red, if it's green, it's go. If it's red, it's muted.
We can't hear him. This sucks.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm not sure what we can do. Well, let me bounce him out.
He could just write things on paper and hold them up.
How long did you pay for Restream for?
Well, somebody named Mike told me it was the best thing around, so I just went with the year-long plan.
Do not do that.
Dude, we're not going to do this in public. All right. The last time I got a restraining order against you, so we're just going to let this be, and we're going to agree to disagree.
For the record, he's half right. I did say, hey, check out Restream is pretty cool. Look all, and then he goes, bot, and then I go, you know what? On second thought, it's not that good. So,
Paulie, we can't hear you, dude. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. It's crazy. I don't know. Like, I'm not doing it on anything on mine side. Let me bounce you out and then see if maybe just me chucking you out. All right, let's see that. All right, let's get it sucks because I've wanted to talk with Paulie, and don't tell Paulie this, but I really want to karaoke with him and Culture and Tom. I mean, I really do.
So I just want to make sure that this isn't a race thing, and that's why you won't let him talk.
Thanks a lot, Dick. It's been fun having you, Kyle. I know you got to get up early tomorrow. We don't want to keep
No, I got lots of time, guys. It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, we got Floral Under a Rock says Stabby Sherry is better than Lovely Sherry. Well, I don't usually take advice from puppets, and in this case, I'm going to continue that. Let me see, Michael. We've got a $10 super chat, and Michael Kane, $10 didn't say anything. If there's something you want to say, we'll keep an eye on the chat. But I'm going to go ahead and all right, this 4 times the charm here with Paulie. Let's see if this works. Paulie, say something.
Buddy.
Yeah.
It's me.
Outstanding. Hey.
Okay, just so you guys know, first of all, the first thing I said was congratulations on your channel success. Thank you for the invite. This is very nice of you guys. So, and hello everyone in the chat. When
Everybody's
you have a guest come in, there's a settings, and I did not click the right connections to my microphone. So
I go through that all the time.
Yeah, just let them know that. But it's there, and let me see. And it's actually
Mike's
here.
fault.
And it's actually
we were just
here.
talking about that.
Anyways,
so, yeah.
Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on?
Thanks for showing up tonight.
Hey,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
was invited.
I was just regaling them with the stories of you and Culture and Tom doing Christmas karaoke. And I'm sure you remember that night when I think I gave you a 50, 60 bucks.
Oh my God, that's right.
I blew your mind. And I was like, I have no regrets. I mean, dude, no regrets. That was so much fun. So thank you guys for singing like that. It was hysterical.
We had a blast, man. We had a blast. You know, it was to help everyone get through the Christmas season. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I have to finish up this super chat with Michael Kane.
Yep.
We will jump right back. I owe you something, Michael. Let's do this. Speaking of blowing money on YouTube while drinking. And I'm really hoping that actually showed the graphic, because Restream does not seem to be
it was working.
the right life choice that I have. So Paulie,
yeah, man,
what's been going on? What have you been hearing? A lot of what we talk about is Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings. You know, I do other videos too, but a lot of people in chat were continuing to ask the question, you know, how is there any impetus, or do we actually see something, I mean, other than hopium, for our entertainment and stories to get back to the source material? Or are we really looking at maybe they'll hide the neo-Marxism or, you know, like, I don't know.
Wow, that's a great question.
I can vamp for you for a while. That's okay.
No, it's a great question.
Yeah.
I think one thing is that we're never gonna be happy with any adaptation of our source material, especially if we're like avid, you know, comic book novel fans. For me, it's definitely more novels that I've read, that I've seen, you know, whatever the genre is. And you know, what's the greatest top of your head best film adaptation?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
And even that
in Jaws
paled
Lord
in comparison to the books for me.
True.
So that to me is like just always be prepared for that, because books, comics, you know, you create your own imagination with these characters, especially with books, short stories, novellas. Comics, you share their imagination. That's why you have your favorite, you know, your favorite, you know, drawers and all that stuff.
Sure.
You know, or comics. So, yeah, it's just never going to be the same. No, you know. Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of pornography on this channel.
I mean, that, you know, who would love that is Andre from Midnight's Edge.
Yeah.
So
I have
actually,
most of them.
In terms of adaptations, I think 300 was a pretty great adaptation of that comic, and it was pretty much shot for shot, scene for scene.
Yeah, great.
I also, like in a recent video I did, talked about Harry Potter. I thought, you know, with J.K. Rowling still around, I thought that the adaptation for Philosopher's Stone was pretty good too.
Yeah.
First season, first through 3 seasons, Game of Thrones with Martin cracking the whip. I thought that was a pretty good adaptation as well. I think there's a difference between adapting, trying to stay faithful, but knowing you have to make sacrifices, versus agenda-driven adaptations.
Well, there's a huge difference. Absolutely. Absolutely. you know, and yeah. So I agree. And you know, Dune is a recent great take on the book. God,
I can't wait for the second part because like so many people have talked about who are much deeper Dune experts than I am. There is so much freaking lore and history to get into, but on the big screen, that was one hell of a good way to bring me in. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think it was basically to what, chapter 30 they got to of the book, like a third.
I thought it was
wasn't
like
even a
maybe
third.
a quarter. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but again, a lot of this is I read that book back in 1985, you know, and it's like it didn't just roll off, didn't just race through it in an evening. You know, you had to work at reading Dune, especially with all of the backstory.
Very
That
dense.
doesn't mean it yes it is. And so I remember, you know, then we
Sorry
had
about
the
that.
80s. That's okay. I'm sure your better half.
It's
Yeah,
it's the other half.
I get it. I've got the same thing. So yeah. But no, I remember the adaptation we got, David Lynch's Dune in the 80s, which was completely whacked out. To get this, I just never thought I would get that kind of a quality adaptation of Dune, which is not perfect, but it's pretty damn good.
Did you see it in the theater?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I did.
I saw it. I saw it the IMAX.
I just got it on DVD last week. I got it on, what is it, the high def DVD thing last week, and I can't wait to watch it. On
IMAX
TV.
would be the way to go to see it. Yeah,
it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Now, remind me the pronunciation of the actress's name. Is supposed to be Paul's love interest, Zendaya. Is that how you say her name?
Zendaya.
Zendaya. So I was neutral on her. I was lukewarm on her.
Yeah.
Mainly because she didn't have a whole lot to say. But then yesterday went and saw Spider-Man and came out of there going, yeah, I look forward to her part. I think she's going to be great. So
she's good. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I completely agree. She wasn't a Debbie Downer like she was in the first two, the way it was written, maybe, you know. With Dune, she's just not even in it. Like she's barely.
Yeah, her acting ability has gone up through the roof just in the short time that I've known who she was.
Well, it's always what's written, right? What they give you.
Yeah.
You know, what the actor can do.
Sure,
you know,
but you can also tell somebody who just can't do it. You know, they're there for other reasons.
Absolutely, but like
she's great.
Yeah. So I'll give you the hot boy of the moment, Oscar Isaac. Right?
Like, oh boy, we're gonna talk about Moon Knight, aren't we?
Right.
Okay.
You know,
I am out because I don't know. So
yeah. Okay, so you saw Dune, correct? What'd you think of him as Leto?
Yeah. I thought he was great. I really did. I thought he was pretty damn good. And what was nice is I didn't look at him and think of Poe Dameron from Disney Star Wars at all. No. I thought about him himself in that movie.
And that's what I mean about, you know, they gave him nothing in Star Wars. And you had like this Oscar caliber, no pun intended, actor, Oscar Isaac.
He should have been a hybrid of Luke Skywalker and Lando Calrissian. Do you know what I mean? Like this kind of Lando. Shifting, just total Lando, but also, you know, this like nice guy.
Yep.
And just I don't know.
He has the charisma. Like his all his points have been put into charisma.
Yeah. And you know, if you've I've followed his career, Juilliard, you know, classically trained, musically classically trained, you know, did the Coen brothers movie. He did history. Have you seen The Year of Violence?
I have not.
Oh, dude, if you like little gangster films, he started that with Jessica Chastain.
Is it dark? Because I really don't go into the really dark.
Yeah. I mean, it's a gangster film, so it's not.
Dude, I'm gonna check it out.
It's not happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, I like Godfather and that type of gangster movie. I don't like Breaking Bad. I don't like Ozark. To those, they're just too real and gritty and scares the shit out of me.
It's actually more story. So I think you'd probably dig it. but
Okay.
his acting chops are just insane. And then of course, what's the sci-fi film that he was in with the bald head? The
Lord.
Ex Machina.
Okay.
Oh yes, yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
I mean, you got to see those films, guys, so you really can appreciate how amazing Oscar is. He
I
is
got 2 movies
so
to watch now.
he's
That's great.
such a comedian. You know what we can do? Since you haven't seen this, let's do a movie watch party, and we'll switch channels or something. You know,
Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
That sounds great. That
Because-
sounds awesome.
it also falls in line with the Latino Slant because we get to
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I watch your stuff, and it's like I appreciated your review of West Side Story and the other and your takes on them. I'm not being ironic, dude.
Yeah,
I'm not.
man.
I'm just saying, like, it's we don't want to be in an echo chamber, like, say, a gaming platform on this.
Ándale, ya cállate.
Yeah, it's just healthy disagreements, and even in this live stream where
Yeah.
Mike doesn't like the same things, you don't like the same things, we're not
Sure.
always going to agree on something, but that's fandom, man, and
Sure.
we're united by the love that we have of genre and then these actors, and it's like I think Oscar Isaac, I'm concerned about Moon Knight, and
Okay.
I am, because I didn't see much in the trailer that made me want to watch it. They were building it up like a mystery. And here's the thing. I mean, Paulie, I am desperate to have something from Marvel be good, but I'm gonna need to be convinced that it's good instead of like the kind of the bait and switch that we got with the marketing for Hawkeye and, my God, Loki and WandaVision. So it's nothing against Oscar Isaac. It's just current year Disney Plus.
We're kind of, there's like the chat is like popping. Great chat.
Oh,
you
Lord.
you have great chat, and
Mhm.
thanks for the plug. Yeah, well, I mean, right? Spider-Man doesn't count because it's Sony, right? So
Yep,
you got y'all ain't counting it. Yeah, I just count it.
Yep.
I count it because it's but that Spider-Man
It's
was
tough,
just
man.
epic.
It's tough. I mean, because what
Mhm.
Spider-Man did is it's the Emperor has no clothes. As far as the box office from what we've seen for Marvel Phase 4. And then, I mean, the Disney Plus numbers coming through. Oh, Lord, I just blanked on the streaming numbers site, Samba, where, I mean,
yeah.
and again, it's not because people are, I think, hating on Marvel. What they want is stories that more align with, like we've been talking about on this channel with Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, that we want the story to be less agenda, less overt insertion of ideology du jour, and we just want to see the story. That's all, and that's it.
Well, I'm definitely getting that feeling from just from that trailer.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that, because
I think
I go ahead.
I think the trailer looks awesome, and my only concern with that series is that it's a Disney series and it's a darker character, and will they take it far enough to stick with that? That's my concern.
That's where I'm coming from too, pretty much. I want it to be good, like, but then again, we look at Book of Boba Fett, and we have the Power Rangers, lifesavers, moped gang, which I still can't wrap my head around that.
Mhm.
I think that when you
The
look at
Vespas.
Robert Rodriguez and doing a crime, it should be a crime story, really. With
Yes.
Boba Fett, that sounds like a home run to me. That those things together, that's what I want to see. So hopefully it'll still get there.
I love a lot of what Rodriguez has done. I really do. I remember some of his earliest movies, in renting them on VHS to watch them. And it's like, just a genius, absolute genius. And I think, like a lot of other things, that I think a lot of really talented people are being limited by the corporate agendas that are paying their paychecks. And maybe that'll go away someday. I mean, Paulie, if you disagree, please, you can call me out. This is a totally open forum for that. We lost Paulie again.
No, I'm here. I was just
Oh, sorry.
I was just on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you bring up some good points, and so there's a lot of great points coming up in the chat. Um, I'm a huge Rodriguez fan. I'm still a Rodriguez fan, and want to wait till this is all done. I think he was. I think it looks so far like he's in a box that he can only do so much.
I
That
agree.
Disney Plus box.
I agree.
So from his interviews and from what he's gone on record to say, that he wants to do a kick-ass job of this so it could parlay an Alita 2 sequel, because that's what he's very passionate about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's gone on record saying that in his recent interviews. And you got to also understand too, this allows him to just have so many more resources as a director. So that being said, it's like, what's going on with this show, man?
He's playing ball. I mean, let's to me, let's just be real, really real. Reads the room, wants to get Alita 2 done, plays the game, Alita 2 gets made. That's my read. That's just an opinion.
But this show is more Spy Kids than it is El Mariachi.
I wouldn't even say it. I mean, Spy Kids was pretty
was
fresh,
brilliant for its time.
pretty smart, pretty, adults could like it too. He did go on record as saying that the scooters and the colors, that's all him. That's not Disney. That's him.
Interesting.
And the cyborg characters and all that stuff. So I don't totally hate the cyborg kids. I just don't like that they're so pretty looking, and it makes no sense on Tatooine how they're still pretty looking, even if they're imported from
Coruscant.
It's like, after a day you're gonna be grimy.
I saw somebody earlier point out, they're broke, they're complaining they can't even pay for water, and yet they're all shiny, new clothes, brand new Vespas. It's
it's like the cast friends on Tatooine. That's pretty much what it is, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's what it is. Let me get to the super chat real quick because I am behind on these.
Do it, man.
Yeah. Hold on. So we've got from Silverlock for $9.99. Let me reach into my bag of tricks and pick something for you all. All right, let's do this one.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Hail to you, Silverlock, $9.99 super chat. Says, I lost so much respect for Sanderson. You should see the hate on my video. It's like 30,000 views, the hate on that.
Wow.
Quoting him, especially after watching the episode 8 watch party. He even made fun of the Game of Thrones tactics, while Wheel of Time was even more ridiculous. Well, there's a rabbit hole right there. That episode 8, show me where there were any military tactics in there other than how to get your entire micro army killed. I don't know what to say. I mean, we all ranted on that in our episode 8 reviews. There were so many things wrong. You have a wall with holes in it at the ground level that you don't shoot arrows out of. You use crossbows that take 10 times as long to load. And
oh god.
Well, remember the charge, right? Everybody on the horses, they charge across the field to end up
to
at
dismount.
The wall.
To dismount. Yeah, they were heroically charging to a wall that they then dismounted, went into, and then used crossbows to shoot through big 4-foot hole. Anyway,
and for whatever reason, they all had to line up in a big column, big wide path to go charge the wall. They couldn't.
And the horses despawned. The horses despawned.
Well, no, they went inside. They were inside little stables. But the point is, like, hey, everybody, meet you at the wall. Take your time. Stop for snacks, whatever.
Oh boy, we got some stuff jumping in chat.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
Thanks for your Silverlock. So let me bounce over here and catch up. So yeah, I mean it's Paulie, did you watch Wheel of Time?
I think that
I
look
think you
tells
might
you.
be
I did
muted.
not.
I think.
I did
Okay.
not. And
Yeah.
so I that's why I hit my mute button.
Yeah, I'll get it. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
put you on the
And
spot,
then I've
brother.
kind of read other people whose opinions I respect. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to start that.
Yeah. Read the
Yeah.
books. Highly recommend. You are blessed, favored among humans for not having had to watch it.
Experienced it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I have to do for Midnight's Edge is I got to suffer through Picard.
Oh God.
Oh Lord.
It's a bet. And I said I'd do it. So,
Paulie, do you think we're ever going to get Nerdrotic's Picard season 1
that's
review?
so funny you said that, because that's like I remember waiting for that.
Yeah, me too. That was like 2 years ago, and I'm not harshing on Nerdrotic at all. It's just I used to always bring that up, and now
That's hysterical.
it's
I
you know what I
totally
think
forgot
he's going to
about that.
do? You know what I think he's going to do? I think he's going to endure season 2 and then roll it all into one big giant ball of flame throwing. There's really no other. I don't see season going well. I mean, I don't know how you. Speaking of digging out of a bad season 1 like Wheel of Time, after what they did to Picard, I was out after about 5 minutes of one episode, and then I took a bunch of shit from people because like you didn't watch anymore. And it's like, you know what? If I start drinking something and I realize there's shards of glass in it, I don't need to finish everything in what I'm drinking to figure that out. So
right.
I don't know. And Paulie, I could be massively offending you. Did you like Picard?
No. What I'm trying to tell you is I haven't started that yet.
Oh Lord!
Like, and we're gonna do a whole watch party where I'm like, they're gonna get my instant reaction. So I'm like, let me, wheel of time. Wait, I got Picard to suffer through. Wow. So I'm like,
you're gonna need a palate cleanser with like some really good movies, man.
Yeah.
Let me get to this super chat. Sorry, from $2 Canadian from everybody's puppet man, Floral from Under a Rock. I have sat and talked with him. Fantastic. He's got fantastic guy, makes puppets in his live streams. He has done interviews with Tom from Midnight's Edge. I think he's doing one with 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. He's done Culture Casino. He did Script Doctor, which was absolutely amazing. Check out Floral, really good guy. $2 Canadian. And I need to do double duty here. Hold on one second. I'm going to drop this one for you, brother. Hail to you, Floral from Under a Rock. He says, Wilton, which is one of his surly troll puppets, says, editing is fun when trolling. So, yeah, editing is so much fun. Paulie, what about you?
Wilton short for Will Wheaton.
Yeah. Paulie, how do you find editing? I mean, what's your preferred ratio? Do you like making longer formats? Do you just like to do chill streams? What have you found the most effective as a channel?
As a channel, it's got to be a 4-to-1 ratio, right? So whatever time you put into it, that's the hours that you got to 4 times that hour. So it's like if I put an hour work into a video, it's like, all right, I hope 4 hours. There's people that see it for 4 hours. Then it's like that watch time means more people are coming to the channel. You're making a couple dollars, all that good stuff. It's just funny what you take a hit on and what you don't. But
oh god, I know.
I love what I cover, so that's what's important. I realize some of the things that I cover culturally, like they have a weird long life, even though they don't have like the instant hits, and that's okay.
So evergreen, because of your perspective. That's interesting, and that's all of us are always looking for things that are evergreen to make.
Since you had mentioned a certain entity out there, it's really important that you stay true to your vision and not do something for just the clickbaits, because what's going to happen is that then you have to stay like that.
Exactly.
And you have to keep, you're gonna then you're like, okay, what kind of community have I created?
Exactly.
So yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is there anything in particular that came to mind? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I think I know what you're saying, which is more of the outrage edgelord stuff. Is that what you mean? Or I guess
yeah, I mean, I think the extremes examples I've seen is, condemnation of something that you haven't seen. And that's just ridiculous. And mislabeling something. And I've spoken out against it, in regards to some entities where, that have to do, that's like entertainment that my channel covers. So In the Heights was a great example. And it was a musical. It was Lin-Manuel Miranda, came out last July. A lot of channels inappropriately called it CRT and woke. It's like, no, it was the American Dream. Did you not see this movie? Amazing song. And now, if you don't like musicals, that's one thing. But if you're going to review something or cover something, you better come correct with your opinion, right? So if clearly you did not see this, because it's a story about the American dream, about immigrants coming to America. I mean, it's a fantastic message, family, all that good stuff. So that bugs me. That bugs me.
I seem to remember when you were doing a live of you leaving the theater, if I remember correctly, and you were so excited about seeing that movie, and you really loved
one?
it.
Encanto?
I thought. I'm sorry, West Side Story.
Yeah, I love.
I watch your videos, man.
Yes. Well, yeah, and I think Zaxx a member.
Yeah,
I sure am.
and I mean, that's
Thanks,
the thing
bro.
about our. That's the thing about our entertainment is we can all be critical of things for our own personal reasons, but we can also love things that people won't like too. And it's, for me, West Side Story is I was so traumatized by musicals. I'm just gonna say that. It's like I maybe should get some therapy for it, but we had to watch Annie and West Side Story and oh my god, every Rodgers and Hammerstein thing. Like they locked us in a room through middle school, in high school, and if I ever hear The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow ever again, I am gonna my head is gonna explode.
Yeah,
now
sorry.
West Side,
sorry
go
about
ahead.
that.
So no. But it's like, I mean, it's just for me. I started to look at what was going on into the Heights, and then what some of the creatives were saying, and I'm like, all right, I'm not touching a musical current year. I'm just not, and maybe that's unfair.
Well,
but
yeah, I just use it as an example of, no matter what, certain entities are just gonna rage on something without getting any, if they didn't see it or getting proper information, or it's like, I don't do that. I don't do that. And I think that, and I'm not saying that, like, that's not to say, like, I'm like, if there's something I don't like, I'm like, oh no, it's still great. That's not me either. So yeah, I also think because, trend, tides change, and whether it's a couple years or 6 months, how is your content going to weather in 2 years, 3 years? So yeah.
I got to get to 2 super chats. I'm quickly going to hit Vic Rattlehead N. This is for 100 rupees. Vic was my very first super chat ever. Hail to you. He's also a channel member, one of my Wolf brothers. Hail to you. Thank you for showing up tonight. He says, if the trajectory of the Wheel of Time show remains like this, Rand will be dealt for having the audacity to escape from the box. Ladies in Lords of Chaos. That's true. He should stay in the box and keep getting his ass kicked. I mean, I would expect that kind of messaging from this, but that's kind of what it's felt like all of season 1. Mike, Zaxx, what's your take on that? And Vic Rattlehead, and thank you for that. Let me grab you something real quick, because you, my friend, deserve it. Here you go.
Not really in that order, because I haven't read that far ahead, but I'm sure you guys would know that one. But I wanted to say something about Paulie's channel, because if you want to avoid the black pill, go check out Paulie's channel, because I want to like things, and you can tell that he comes from a place that he wants to like things, and he presents things in that way, and he's fair. And so if you want to dodge some black pill, go check out Paulie.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And you guys are, again, I'm really excited for your channel.
Thank you.
With the slant, I love that I could dip into this world with you guys, because I geek out on a lot of stuff, and when it covers for the slant what we cover, it's even more golden, like an Oscar Isaacs, or what was the last Diego Luna. I'm that's going to be a big one with Andor, because there's going to be a lot of hate on that, but I'm a huge Diego Luna fan, and that it goes right in step with the channel. But also too, it's just I want to show people, like, let's break some bread. Here's a great song from Peru that I love. Here's a great movie that was made here in the States, but it's like it happens to be in Spanish, whatever. You said something
Sounds
earlier.
awesome.
Yeah, you said something earlier about entertainment. So entertainment's gonna always change. The tide is changing. There's also a lot of great entertainment that's been there. You just gotta dig. You gotta dig. We have to dig a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
Paulie, I got a guy. This is in Australia. I don't mean to interrupt you. He's got a bounce. Al Dan for $5 Australian. Super chat. You guys in private chat need to stop. Guys, I've got a bounce. Always remember, don't weep for Menetherin. Oh, pray for the Aussie freedom fighters. We need it. And I say hail to you. I think about your country all day long, Aldan. So hail to you in Australia, hail to you in New Zealand, and hail to you in the European so-called Union. So thanks a lot, Aldan. I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me grab you this real quick, and I mean this entirely.
You have my soul.
Yeah, it's Paulie. Thanks for letting me interrupt there, Aldan. He needed to go, so hail to you, Aldan. And Paulie, you were talking about all of this entertainment. And it's obviously there has always been more entertainment than the major studios. I mean, in the '90s we got some really remarkable indie cinema, and I gotta believe that we're gonna see more of that indie stuff out there. Now, it'll probably be on this platform for as long as they allow it, and it'll jump to something else. But when you were talking about older properties, is there something that you have come across lately that you're like, oh my God, I gotta tell people about this? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off mid-swallow. I should have amped a little bit more.
No. And again, man, your chat is popping. I love it. Great, smart stuff.
We have a great chat.
Yeah. I was in it the other day. I didn't say anything. I forgot, man.
I knew that was you lurking. I could always tell there was a set of eyes on my ass, but Paulie, I'm not going to tell anybody.
These guys are awesome.
Yeah.
This chat's brilliant.
And let me just say something about our people in Australia. We have a couple members too on the slant that are in Australia. We got your back, man. The least we can do is entertain you guys. That's the very least. So, hail to you guys.
In my Twitter DMs, my Getter DMs, my Minds DMs, you having a bad day, reach out, man. I'm here in Texas. I came to Texas for a reason. I intend to keep Texas, the reasons why I came to Texas. And that's all as far as I'm going to go with that conversation. But you are 100% right, Paulie. 100% right.
So there was some gems from last year that I made a list of the top 10 movies of 2021 that you probably didn't see.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I thought that Plan B was one of the funniest movies that I saw last year. So that was like, I think 2 or something like that. So, you know, I always try to like, and that was just on Hulu. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't widely, you know, out, and it's a shame. It was really funny, really well done. Then there's actors that I think that I'm like, hey, you should follow this guy. Like we talked about Oscar Isaac. There was a gentleman last year who was in 2 awesome movies, 3, but I didn't finish watching the third one. But he was in The Forever Purge, which I think is really, it was like a underrated hit. If you like The Purge, you're gonna like that one.
Mm.
And then he
Mike,
was
did you see that one? Sorry, I just was wondering if
No,
Mike
no,
saw
Which,
that one. Okay.
which one?
The Forever Purge came out last summer.
No.
Okay, yeah. So it's it's kind of a different concept, but it's still the purge. But basically, at the end of the day, a Texas family, white family, and a Mexican family, kind of like, you know, come together to try to get to the border because they're being chased by the Forever Purge people that just won't stop purging.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a totally insane scenario setup, but what a kick-ass ride. Anyways, this actor's name is Tenoch Huerta, and I've been following him for years. He was in Narcos Mexico.
Oh, okay.
He was amazing.
Okay.
Then he turns around and he does this like indie Sundance drama called Son of Monarchs. So I've been promoting that, you know. So I'll find these things that it's like, all right, well, this is amazing, and it's only on HBO or it's only here.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing with Tenoch, which is going to be very a touchy subject with a lot of people, is that he's been cast as Namor in Wakanda Forever.
No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
All
they're
right.
going. They're going all. They're going. I think what they're. Okay, I'm theorizing here, and I've had a video on it.
That's okay.
I'm theorizing that they're going to make all the Namorians, Toltec, off the Pacific coast, which is which to me is very interesting because of our ancestry. We have these Atlantean statues that have been in Mexico for thousands of years. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna go that route. Okay. But I know people are just gonna be like, no, screw it. It's a gender swap. I don't want to see it. And it's like, all right, well, you know.
Have you Paulie, have you read any Graham Hancock?
No, tell me about Graham Hancock.
Okay, so I'm going to give credit where credit is due. There was a oh Lord, it was back when Nerdrotic and Doomcock were doing their Exozone videos, and they started to talk. Dude, I was so into those. They started to talk about Graham Hancock, and of course, he and Randall Carlson appeared on a series of Joe Rogan podcasts, which I think now have 15 million views apiece. Long story short, it has to do with cataclysms and how the ice cores show that the climate of this planet has, of course, been fluctuating, and in many times very drastically and rapidly fluctuating based upon events that have occurred, impacts, could be solar flares, other things like that. But there's a great correlation to sudden the ice age abruptly coming to an end and ice age floods. And having lived in the Pacific Northwest, I saw a lot of that. Where I'm going with all this is that there has now been proven undeniable DNA evidence that there is Polynesian DNA in South America and in the Amazon from at least one common ancestor who came from those Pacific islands. So I took a long route to get to Namor's story, but that actually excites me a lot. Graham Hancock, Before America, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm writing that down as we speak.
Check out the Joe Rogan stuff, honestly. And the first one you want to look at is you want to look at the
Hancock with the D or just
great. Hancock. So Hancock, like
Yeah.
HAN. But check out the Randall Carlson videos where he starts talking about the ice core samples, because otherwise it just sounds like woo woo, made up tinfoil stuff. It's not. So I didn't mean to hijack the chat and turn it into Coast to Coast Radio with the ghost of Art Bell, but I just thought it was really cool because Paulie was talking about stuff that like I know and I'm super into. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, so Wakanda Forever, I don't know where they're at in production, but I
think they just started filming again. I was
Okay.
reading a rumor
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
I do know the actors that were cast as the Nemorians, and they're all from Mexico. They're fine actors, I hope that they do if they're gonna go that route, then let's pray for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I Namor. God, the last time I read a comic book, it was probably in the 70s, man. Like I was probably 5 or 6 years old. So I don't have an emotional attachment to Namor or really Aquaman. They were comics that I read. I was more into Batman and Superman and stuff like that, and I don't know, it just was how it was, and maybe that makes me a Philistine. But oh, Zaxx, were you gone? I was wondering why you were so quiet. I needed to read the private chat. We're sorry.
I'm back.
about
I'm back.
Yeah.
Paulie, let me interrupt you to get to this super chat. This is from Funda Suns. Oh boy, you guys are killing me. Funda Senchi 150. Zaxx, did I do that right?
Right enough, I think. Yep.
Okay.
Thunder Senchi 150.
What Zaxx said, I'm gonna hit you with one of my whiz bangy things over here. Hold on 1 second. Let's see which one we're gonna do. Look at this one.
Toss a coin to your witcher.
Thank you very much for that super chat. $4.99 says, I hate that the media tried to pit BOP against Sonic when they were two different audiences. Birds of Prey against Sonic. Do you? Oh yeah, I remember where I was when that happened. I'm just gonna say that, and I was in the shower with oh god, I just blank with Neon and Geeky Sparkles. Not literally, figuratively. When I heard about those box office totals, anyone else think this is an asinine advertising tactic? So I think what he's referring to is the box office that occurred, and it was in early 2020 when Birds of Prey was tanking. And this the redone Sonic movie came out and just cleaned its damn clock. Like it wasn't even close. And that Sonic animated movie was #1 for a long time, and I think it was the highest rated animated movie ever. You guys tell me in the chat and on the panel, am I wrong? Do you guys remember that Birds of Prey debacle in Sonic's box office?
Yeah. Well, Birds of Prey looked like it sucked, and the box office matched. And Sonic listened to the fans, and they went back, made some changes, put out a movie people wanted to see, and they went to see it.
Yeah. Mike, OBG7, do you remember? Did you see Sonic? Did you see that with your kids? Sonic the Hedgehog?
Nope.
Okay.
Not at all. No.
Okay. All right. Paulie, did you see either of the? Did you sit through Birds of Prey? Did you see that Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
I keep pressing mute when I'm thinking that
I
I'm
get
not
it,
muted.
dude. I get it. I know. I do the same thing all the time.
I did not see either one. I think I saw I think I saw like maybe a minute or two of Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And Sonic, I'll as I keep saying I'm going to check out, but I'm just haven't gotten around to it. But I do remember that argument out there, and then I also remember Ian what's his name, Kenobi McGregor.
Oh, McGregor opening up his mouth about Birds of Prey. Oh yeah,
that was horrible.
Yeah. You reap what you wokely sow. I think
Nice.
that's yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it's a great example.
Dude, and that's why I'm kind of like, okay, Now we've got Kenobi coming out, and again, I'm kind of over. I've been over Star Wars for a while. It's just that it's
Oh,
fine.
come on, man.
No, dude, it's no. I will always love Star Wars. I mean, I love the original trilogy, and I like 2 of the prequels movies. I do. I like them.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm over it. I would love to have something like Kenobi come along and blow everybody's hair back, but I don't see it happening. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Thunder Sensei 150.
We were talking about Batgirl earlier. So, Paulie, you like Leslie Grace for that role, right? Correct?
Do I like her for the role?
Yeah.
I mean, I love Leslie Grace, first of all. I
She's
think
beautiful.
she's a fantastic actor and an award-winning singer. Now, from what I hear, me and Cameron Pasha did a really nice breakdown of when she just got cast. Was the director's casting process. Is that it was non-traditional, so it was down to 3 actors, and they liked her take on it the best. So these guys, have come out with some kick-ass movies in the past. To me, that's a wait and see. I think it's interesting, and I'm curious to see his storyline as far as they kept J.K. Simmons as Gordon.
Yeah,
That's
that's
her dad.
interesting.
So so I'm curious. I'm very curious because I'm a big fan of non-traditional casting, as opposed to completely rewriting, people's origins I think it's a way to go, when it makes sense. But again, I have to wait and see. I think I could, I think she's absolutely beautiful, but and she's a go-getter. I saw her. Did you guys see the DC panel that they did?
No.
Yeah, I mean they had the right mindset for it, and there was no wokoso sayings, none of the wokosos were dropped during it.
Really?
Yeah, they were like all about kicking ass and this and that. Their vibe was great, and they're like, yeah, Leslie's gonna wear the red hair. Yeah, everyone was like all excited during that DC panel. That panel and the Blue Beetle panel and I saw the whole thing all day long.
Oh wow!
The only ones that were bearable, and the Blue Beetle panel was fantastic as well.
Check out DJ Grom. He says to you, Paulie, I sub to you, Paulie. Gonna watch your Being the Ricardos coverage. I enjoyed that film.
Hey,
to you, DJ Grom.
Thank you. Let's all support each other, and thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
The Batgirl thing. I just dropped a video, like I said yesterday, on it, and I was sick because I have cedar fever here in Texas, which some of the this dude, this year's so bad. Like I am, yeah, it was bad.
And you're coming from the Pacific Northwest. Oh,
yeah, dude, I know, but I love freedom more than I do my sinuses. So, the Batgirl. So what do we know about Batgirl? We know that Leslie Grace is going to be starring in it. Like you said, J.K. Simmons is in it, which, dude, that guy's great in everything. But then we're also seeing that's where they're going to be dropping the Michael Keaton Batman.
Right.
And also Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
As well. And then it was also rumored that, like you said, and everybody made fun of me. I don't know if you were on the chat at that time. I was like, Journey Smollett is going to be back as Black Canary. And then there's also the potential, and I don't know if it's true or not, that they might be bringing Robin into this. And then this is what's interesting to me is that they are releasing this straight to HBO Max and not theatrically day and day. Do you have a read on that as to why they're doing that? If they're putting all of this in my opinion, budget and star power like Michael Keaton into this thing, they're just going to drop it to HBO Max.
I wouldn't be surprised if that changes. I mean, they gave it a change with Blue Beetle. You got to remember, Blue Beetle was slated just for HBO Max. Now it has a theatrical release. I think a lot of that's, going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't, just for the reasons that you just mentioned. Yeah,
Michael
so they're
Keaton,
filming
dude.
right now, right?
I thought they wrapped.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I don't know. I got to keep all these things straight because I was also covering Batman. That's coming out. That's coming out March 4th.
That's been done. Yeah.
Well, that's been done, I think, before it was finished. But March 4th, it comes out. Yeah, done on the hood of the Batmobile. No, I mean here's the thing, and I covered it in the Batgirl video. Is that this Batman movie with Robert Pattinson is its own little sandbox? It's not part of the Batgirl universe. So, I mean, it seems like they're just making all these little pocket things up and conveniently calling it the multiverse. And to me, I'm like, can nobody take the time and get a big whiteboard and just maybe try and build out? You don't have to do 22 movies like Marvel did. Maybe how about just like 6 movies, all interconnected storylines so that it's compelling. And with all of the rich freaking characters that the DC universe has, why is no one doing it over there in Warner Brothers? And it's a rhetorical question, but it's just, I just simply do not understand.
Yeah, well, wasn't it Sarnoff? Is it Sarnoff that runs all that over there?
I thought so. There was that one woman who immediately shit all over everybody who loved the Snyder cut on HBO Max and called us toxic. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was Sarnoff. I think the tide's changing. So I think the people doing research, reshoots, people are changing schedules. People are doing this, that. Yeah. I mean, hopefully they don't rush it. I mean, if anything, they need to give Cavill another movie, man.
Dude, give him 4 movies.
Yeah, well, Cavill, Affleck, I know Affleck, he went back to drinking because of that,
Yeah, I remember.
That,
I remember.
But I love those guys as those characters,
I do too.
And
I do too.
If they really wanted to make money, they would do that. And
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of bad blood and egos around that whole Josh Whedon thing and Snyder and Sarnoff, and then the deal with AT&T and Warner, if I remember correctly. There's so many muddy waters here, but Paulie, I really love that you hopped on this stream, dude. I will come on your channel and sing bad karaoke with you any old time. Just ask, man. I know you got to bounce. So
yeah. But why don't we get your crew and let's do something on my channel,
dude? Name the time and the place. I can talk movies with you all the time. It's nice to do this kind of chill thing, man. It's not reactive. We're just kind of talking, and I know there's a lot of channels, and I'm not speaking ill of anyone. It's kind of nice to be chill on a Tuesday night and just kind of talk about the state of entertainment and have a couple laughs. So this has been a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do this for hours. I just gotta go hang out.
Yeah, it was a
I know,
pleasure to meet you, sir. Yeah, I'm very glad to meet you. Where can people find you?
Oh, the Latino Slant here on YouTube.
You got a Twitter or
Paulie and I misspelled it, so it's Paulie with an IE. Sorry about that. Yeah, the Latino Slant, and we're always doing something every day. And tomorrow I'll be live at 11 a.m. Pacific with filmmaker Tom Conkle.
Oh my God! Awesome, dude.
We're going to break down episode 4 of the book of Boba Fett.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. He's great though. He's because where he's coming from as a filmmaker storyteller, his insight is really terrific. So come on by.
Tom Conkle's awesome.
Be there.
Yeah.
I will be sadly slaving away for corporate America, but I will watch you on replay, sir.
Hey, we all got to pay the bills, man.
I subscribed and got the and hit notifications, so I will try to catch your next live stream.
Well, like I said, and Zach knows it. I always come through like let's bring you guys onto the slant. And what was the movie what we were talking about? What movie? Like we do
We
a watch
talked
party
about
on?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
It'll
was
come
one-
to us.
It was
Which one?
one that no one had seen. I
Oh,
hadn't
Ex
seen.
Machina.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys haven't seen it, right?
I've seen it.
Doesn't sound familiar.
No,
to
I
me.
haven't.
Or
No,
if I have,
will.
I don't.
I will
recognize
absolutely
it.
watch it.
Okay.
I'll watch it again.
Okay, yeah. That's with Oscar Isaac and Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right, we'll be in touch, guys. Take care, chat.
Thanks,
you.
Paulie.
Be well,
Thank
everyone.
you very much, sir.
Have a good
Adios.
night.
See you later.
Very cool.
Well, that was
Very-
great.
That was excellent.
That was
Thank
great.
you. Yeah, thank you for bringing him on.
It's
We got Miss
it's-
Martin Uses in the chat now too.
Hey,
Mhm.
we've been going. If you want to
Caught her
come and
recent
hang
live
out,
stream.
yeah, if you want to come and hang out, bounce on. This is something we're going to be doing with a lot of the channel members too. Is with the Wolf brothers and Wolf sisters, is we're going to be doing member streams like this and allow people to come in, much like Paulie did, and we're all just going to talk together if you want, or if you just want to hang back and send your questions in chat in a more intimate setting, we're going to do that. But we bring in whoever wants to come and hang out. So we have been going almost 3 hours, guys, and I tend to try and especially on a school night not go much later. But Miss Martin Muses, if you would love to come on, if you can come on next week, we'd love to have you come on. And I will be scheduling a Wolf Brothers, Wolf Sisters member chat. I'm going to be putting a poll out for the members to find out what times work the best. Obviously, we have an international group of fans, and we want to accommodate as many people as possible. So, yeah.
I want to say something quick to the chat, and that's please, if you guys have things you'd like us to cover, please contact us on Twitter. Let us know what you want us to talk about, because we're really are here for you. And yeah, so we'd like to know what you want to hear us talk about and what you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, that's why we started covering Wheel of Time tonight again, because I'd had people reaching out in the comments and saying, when are you going to do Wheel of Time again? And I mean, honestly, season 1 ended, and I don't want to build a channel off of just rumor and hearsay. And we have a lot of anecdotal things coming for season 2. Tonight, we tried to give you information that we can actually back up, or that we have more than a 70% sense that it's going to be real. So I hope it was of value to you guys. I really do. We'll probably incorporate Wheel of Time segments of the live shows going forward, and we can put them in the front if people want, just so if that's all you're interested in, you can hang out for a little while and bounce. But we definitely appreciate that feedback. So, oh, wait a minute, what are you doing over there? Show me that again. I missed it. I'm too busy talking.
Commodore 64.
Dude, I had the VIC 20 and then a Commodore 64. Look at that. That was the height of computing in the mid 80s. I'm just
Commodore 64. I had one. We
I've
got
had the
you
apples,
remember Punk Waddle?
all the various apples, Commodores, Ataris, had it all.
We do have an important safety tip. Ostrich and emu birds are mean bastards. So, or bastages. There you go. I always appreciate
Yeah.
those
So real
safety
quick,
tips.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Corey. Real quick, while Brian's Gate is on the screen there, I see. I'm always down for everyone playing AD&D Second Edition. Now, there's a couple of sites. Roll20, I think, is one where you could, on their website, set up a game. I would love to do that. And I know that Renaissance Nerd was also in on it. He might DM, because that's the thing he likes to do. That's really, because I don't like to DM. I'm good at it, but I hate doing it. I'd rather...
I DM.
I'd
all I
rather
did.
harass the DM.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go then.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did, in the 80s up until
and Corey, if you, like I said, I have several of the hardcover Dungeon Master guides.
Dude,
If
let's
you
swap each other out, man. That would be awesome. I'm
PM
just
me
looking at my
or
bookshelf.
DM me on Twitter and give me your address. I'll
Yeah,
send
man.
it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I was thinking we could maybe do a giveaway or something like that. And I
Sure.
know I've got some books that I would love to share with people, brand new ones, not stuff from obviously the Goodwill, but stuff like that might just kind of be fun and
Yeah.
just to give something back to you guys for showing up for our chats and hanging out with us tonight. So I'm going to let everybody go around the horn. But before I do that, I want to say thanks again to everybody who came into the chat for your comments. Thank you so much to Paulie the Latino Slant. Good guy,
Mhm.
good people. And thanks to everybody who super chatted. I means the world to me. And thanks to all of my channel members. If you've stuck around this long, in the end credits, we have built out those names as of the start of showtime tonight. So let's go around the horn, introduce your channels, guys. Whoever wants to go first, Mike, Zaxx.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, so also a mention, of course, honorable mention here to Men of Manethrin, who started the stream with us tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Very, very cool that he was able to show up. He was very last minute and wasn't feeling good, so very grateful that he was able to come by. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I have a YouTube channel as well. I do a lot of fantasy genre stuff. I'm going to be getting into some science fiction as well, but right now I'm doing Legend of the Seeker reviews. I'm going to be doing some Shannara Chronicles stuff. I'm doing
Oh, yeah. We should
Witchers.
talk about
Yeah,
Shannara,
yeah,
dude.
absolutely. I'm doing all that kind of stuff, and I'm trying to mix it up a little bit, and I'm going to try to do a video a day. Good luck to me. But if you could follow one of the trillion links that Zaxx was kind enough to provide in chat and give me a pity subscription, that would be great. I'm nearing 500. I think I crossed over the 400 mark, and so I'm getting there. So I would appreciate it very much. I am on Twitter, but I don't tweet that much. I'm at bitten_8 over there. And then you can find me on Getter, Odyssey, at OBG70. So with that, Zaxx.
Yeah, I am slowly putting out content. I'm going to try to get better at it, and as I learn, it's coming together a bit faster. My audio issues seem to be mostly solved, so that's coming along. So I'm going to put my link in the chat here. But also, I'm KF at KF204 on Twitter, so you can check me out there if you want. And I do a lot of work on a channel called Pop Culture Minefield. I do a lot of the backstage stuff, and I produce videos there. Sometimes I go on the panels, but usually not. So they're here. So please check those guys out as well. That's a lot of comic content because it's the main guys there are comic artists, and so we talk a lot of pop culture stuff, comic stuff. It's kind of the same kind of stuff that a lot of other people cover, but try to be a bit more positive about it. And lots of Blade Runner coverage over there as well. So if you're into cyberpunk stuff, come check us out.
We need to have a stream just on Blade Runner. I'm going to shout out Resurrection 117. My channel member says, I'm going to immediately watch the restream. You and I both. And I may have a drink while I do it. So, because I never know how my audio is. You guys don't know that, how unnerving it can be. It's because you don't hear yourself. But that's some inside baseball. You never know how your mic is behaving when you've been talking for 2.5 hours. So,
and I'm almost to 100 subs. Almost. Yay.
Very cool.
This was amazing. I look forward to people in the future showing up and just jumping on the stream. Anybody who's been lurking out there, who's got a channel, hit me up, hit up Mike, hit up Zaxx. Zaxx is everywhere. Zaxx is a killer mod. Thank you to Mike. Thank you to Zaxx Kyle. Thank you to Amanda Manethrin. Please, sir, get better. Chicken soup, and if that doesn't work, shots of vodka until you fall asleep. So,
yes.
But with that, I'm going to say hail to you all in the chat. I think I'm caught up on all the supers. So we have got somebody talk. Okay, now as soon as I get done here, I'm going to go look this up. Does anyone have the Wheel of Time D20? I don't know, but I'm going to go look at that on eBay now. That's super exciting to me. So let me go ahead and do this. So thanks again, everybody. I had so much fun tonight. I am going to lead us out with my new channel outro. You all have a great week. We will be talking to each other soon. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.